The MJ Morning Show is live. Here we go, 6 o'clock on this Monday. It is a federal holiday. It is the observation of MLK's birthday. Welcome, folks. Traffic for me this morning was somewhat normal. I didn't really notice any reduced volume. Now, I'm here very early, maybe a bunch of earlier nut jobs like me on the roads, but you guys are last-minute Larrys over here. So, Roxanne, you just walked in. You're the latest one in this morning. What did you notice on the roads?
Winner, latest one in this morning.
Yay.
So I noticed that they were pretty much kind of a little bit lighter.
Okay. All right. Fester, you?
Did you talk to any of the other last-minute Larrys?
Yeah, I did. We waved at each other as we went by. No, my kids were sleeping in today. Obviously, they didn't have to get up for school, so they did.
Roxanne is a last-minute Lolita, is what she is. Yes, last-minute Lolita. You're a last-minute Larry.
Listen, the people sloughing off to work this time of morning still have to go to work. It's the banks, it's the schools. It's maybe in an hour you'll see some reduction in traffic.
All right, so obviously big local story is the Bucs and Eagles tonight. Kickoff about 8:15, I believe, is going to be the KO.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't mean knockout. Oh shit. Oh well.
Did you just say a bad word?
What?
No, he said KO.
No, after that.
I hope that doesn't mean knockout.
I didn't say a bad word.
Okay.
I didn't say a bad word. What do you think you heard? I didn't say anything. I went like this.
Oh.
Today has turned out to be a pretty significant football day where we have almost a whole day of football with the other game getting pushed back.
But also I hear that game could be questionable. That's the Buffalo Bills game because they had a ton of snow up there. Hey, you want to make some extra money? They're paying people $20 an hour to go help shovel the stadium out. Seriously.
They don't have machines for that?
Well, the seats, the actual field.
They don't have stadium blowers?
What the hell? AI can't clean the snow off the seats up in Buffalo?
Is this? Don't the seats have blowers that blow it off or heat that melt it?
Yeah, heated seats. All right, so back to the Bucs and the Eagles. I sure as hell hope that there's not a sea of green. That always sucks, and you see, and it seems that, Green Bay fans tend to flock to Tampa Bay. Eagles fans, we've seen that, right?
Eagles fans, Steelers fans, the New York team fans.
Okay, so all other fans come.
No, it's not as heavy on some of the other teams. I was trying to make a point that you do have certain teams where the fans get a hold of, it seems like, an inordinate, disproportional amount of tickets, and then you see a lot of opposing teams' colors in the stands, and I just hope that's not the case tonight at Ray J for this playoff game.
Arizona Cardinals, you wouldn't see them. Those Indianapolis Colts, you wouldn't see them. Yeah.
The Packers, you see them. They come out.
Yes.
That's what I did. I said that.
Did you say Packers?
Yeah, you tuned in to 104.7 FM this morning?
No, I'm not actually. Thank you for the reminder.
Hey, no problem. All right, so what about Baker Mayfield? Because I saw something just, 15 minutes ago. I saw a TV report, and I had a local channel on in the studio, and the reporter said, and Todd Bowles says that everyone is good to go, but I saw reports online as late as like midnight last night that Baker Mayfield was questionable because of injuries. So
it's those little people bones.
But
they're so brittle.
But now, Fester, you found what? This is The Athletic.
Yes.
Okay, from theathletic.com, the headline, when was this published? This is from, that's the 13th. That's a little old, dude. This is today's the 15th.
I typed in Baker Mayfield in news. This is one of the first things that popped up from yesterday. From a day ago.
That's not yesterday. Yesterday was the 14th. So the 13th was Saturday. And what it did say was Baker Mayfield questionable but expected to play. So that was on Saturday. But as of last night, I saw reports that, he's still potentially injured, questionable. But then, again, 15, 20 minutes ago, just flipping through some local channels here in the studio, one of the live shot reporters on some channel was saying, and Todd Bowles says that it's thumbs up. Everyone's playing today. Hey, Trent Dilfer is the backup, so
get him out here.
Steve DeBerg, backup.
Yes. Third string, DeBerg.
He can still wing it.
Vinny Testaverde's coming back.
He's colorblind like me.
Now the Eagle, who Vinny?
Yeah.
How does he know which team to throw the ball to?
That was always an issue.
His first couple of years, the Buccaneers had light jerseys, those light orange jerseys, and the other teams had white jerseys. He couldn't tell anything.
Wait, really?
You don't remember the Vinny's colorblind stories?
He didn't have a better career until he went to a darker Jersey team.
Yeah, it's
For
true.
real.
I don't think, was Vinny here? What year was Vinny here?
I don't know.
I don't think I was in
80s?
town. But,
No, I was like 8 when he was the
I don't think I was in town when Vinny Testaverde was the QB.
I think Vinny was a mid to late 80s guy.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think-
once up in Avila. Someone invited me to Avila for something. I think it was like lunch at the club. This is years ago. And yeah, so Vinny Testaverde was 87 to 92, Fester.
Yeah.
And so I didn't get here until February of 94. So
Well, the Ray Perkins years.
I missed the Vinny Testaverde years, but I was up in Avila. And this is years ago. I would say probably 1996. I wonder if it was Liquor Larry from Southern Wine who invited me up there. Anyway, I was at the club for whatever reason. And I think that was the last time I've been there. I've never been invited back to the country club at Avila. So
You're actually on the banned list.
I don't think I'm on the bad list, but I was having lunch, and I'm trying to remember, and Vinny Testaverde walked up to our table. Who was I sitting with? I was sitting, I think, with Larry and somebody else. I can't remember why the hell I was there, but I think I was there with one of the other Buccaneers as well. And then Vinny Testaverde, I think at that point he still lived in Avila, maybe?
He played until the early 2000s, I think, right? He played for a while. He was an old man when he played.
And he rolled up to the table, and I met Vinny Testaverde. This is a long time ago. Anyway, go Bucks. Go Buccaneers tonight, 8:15 or so, kickoff at Ray J. And, the Eagles have been sucking. The Eagles, haven't they dropped like 5 of the last 6 or something? I mean, the Eagles have been on a real rough patch, real rough roll. So typically you'd say, yeah, Bucks and Eagles. If the Eagles were full horsepower, I think it would be doom and gloom for the Bucks. But with the Eagles really blowing chunks for the whole latter part of this season, there's a chance the Bucks could win. Now, is Baker Mayfield coming off this injury? If he does play tonight, and he is expected to play apparently, is there a chance that we beat the Eagles? That'd be awesome as the playoffs roll on.
Yes. That would be
there's-
awesome.
No, thank you. I mean,
there is a chance.
This is not sports talk. I don't do full-blown analysis. But,
Let's do
but
hot take. What do you think? Buccaneers, Eagles tonight. What's your take? Todd in Tampa, you're on.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Racket.
No, but obviously there's a big story. Bucks and Eagles tonight, the late season playoff game. Go Bucks. I just don't want to see a ton of green in the stadium. And the Philly fans, even the ones that come here, a lot of them are just nasty.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. They're miserable people.
Yeah,
really awful.
Philly fans, Eagles fans are, I think, the worst in the NFL. If you were to categorize the worst fans, the most aggressive, abusive, nasty fans for visiting fans that go up to where the Eagles play in Philly, I don't think there's any other NFL team that's worse.
No, I would agree with you. When I covered the Bucks after they won the Super Bowl, and I was up there on the sideline, and the things that the fans were yelling at Joe Juravicious.
Well, they would boob punch you, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would.
Look
they
at
would
that.
Do. Oh, did you say boot or boob?
I said boob.
Hey, reporter
Yeah.
from Tampa.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think everybody from Eastern Pennsylvania is trash. I mean, Scranton down.
Well, there are
From
a lot of them
Scranton
that
all the way
live
to the
here
Delaware
now.
River.
What about Allentown?
Awful folks. They closed the factories, you hear?
They're living there in Allentown, and they're shutting all the factories down.
Good.
All right, 6:09 at the MJ Morning Show. We got no traffic today. I guess
Just look around, people.
because it's MLK Observation Day, there's no traffic on the road, so we have no traffic report.
It's a holiday here, so every
It is,
other
yeah.
employee
Yep.
here is not here.
All right, 6:09. Well, listen, if we're not on the air, how the heck am I going to be able to commemorate MLK's observation of his birthday?
Somebody turn the lights on in the building at least?
Yeah, it's like the lights are all off everywhere. I think we're the only morning show in the building today. 6:09, it's the MJ Morning Show on Q105. No traffic this morning, so we're back in minutes. Stand by. 6:20 on a Monday. Welcome, folks. What a successful week last week with the MJ bill pay and the $20,000. And, of course, thanks to the Kemp Law Group, 20 winners last week, $1,000 a pop for $20,000 in cash. Just a very grateful bunch of very happy individuals. You know, interestingly, I got an email. The last winner, so yesterday or Friday, last winner in the 9 o'clock hour, they did not know, or the second to last. So the last winner obviously won. It was this what should have been the final last winner. Remember, did not know the name of the previous hour's winner.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean it was brutal.
Her name was Jill.
Was it Jill?
It was Jill,
Yeah.
and then the winner's name was Jane.
Yeah. So got in, was the right number caller 105, but did not know the 8 o'clock winner's first name. And that's how the contest works. It's like tablet tag. When we did that, you always have to know the previous hour's winner's first name. And the first caller 105, did not know, forgot, got in, beat the odds, was caller 105 and could not tell us the previous hour's winner, so couldn't get the $1,000.
She told us the 6 o'clock winner's name.
Yeah.
She's like-
That's
She
right.
was like, I know it. I'm
Yep.
like, great, what is it? And
Yes.
she said the wrong hour.
Yeah, and then I think, didn't she say that she had medical bills or she was in the hospital? And I got an email. From a listener saying that they felt so bad after hearing that they wanted to donate some cash to her, like $200 or $500. And I'm like, and they said,
That's nice.
do you know how to get a hold of? No, we don't. I don't know how to get a hold of that person. And right now I'll get flooded with, oh, that was me, and oh yeah, tell that other listener that wants to help out with the. Listen, I have no way to confirm that. I mean, I guess we can go back and listen to the tape, listen to the recording, and hear the voice and maybe match that up. But I had an email that I answered over the weekend where the listener said that they felt bad that they lost and wanted to give them hundreds of dollars out of their pocket as a consolation. I'm like, what? I gotta bring this back up. But I think I'm opening up a can of worms because I'm gonna have tons of people come out of the woodwork and say, "Oh, I was Jill from Friday."
Or the other side of that is people call with medical ailments who need to raise funds for something. They think we're going to help put that together. I don't think we're GoFundMe radio.
Yeah, all right. 6:23 at the MJ Morning Show. I mentioned Barbra Streisand, and I'll get to that here momentarily. Man, I just saw something over the weekend regarding Barbra Streisand. It's like total BS. Get it? Barbra Streisand, BS.
No, I don't get it. What?
Yeah, BS. And Froggy, hey, you clam up over there because
What'd I do?
another one of your alien stories has been debunked. I mean, totally.
That's fake, dude. It's not a 6'2" basketball player. Is that what you're saying?
No. Froggy, you've been on a rip. I don't know what it is. The last week or so, week and a half.
I've been waiting for this forever.
Just a whole series, 3 of these stories about these
Big national stories.
Oh, well, even international, because the hilltop thing with the person on the hilltop in shadow form that people tried to suggest as an alien. Get out of here. It's a guy, he's even holding up his cell phone to take a picture.
Alien phone.
It's not an alien phone. So Froggy has 3 alien stories where he's like, see, I told you, it's happening. They're here. I mean, they're all debunked.
Nobody's debunked the jellyfish. Nobody.
Dude,
There you go. Be quiet. Be quiet for a little longer.
Guess what? I've got a story that is totally debunked, and I think you brought this up months ago. This is a story, another supposed alien story from months ago has been debunked. But first, listen to this BS from Barbra Streisand. If you're a business owner during COVID, you know about the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, the whole PPP. Remember that?
Yeah, a bunch of businesses got it for employees or retaining people or something like that.
Paycheck Protection Program 2020, 2021. And in most cases, that was just a pure handout. Small businesses, medium businesses. And listen, there were plenty of businesses that really needed the money. But of course, you had a bunch of scam artists as well. And you've had folks go to jail. there have been stories, and I know that we've seen a ton of them. I'm sure we've done a few of them on the air. Like some business owner scored, let's say, $800,000 from the Paycheck Protection Program during the whole COVID deal, and they went out and they bought a Ferrari. And these stories exist, and there have been arrests. There have been some people that have really taken advantage of the system. But conversely, there were legitimate businesses that were able to stay afloat, keep people employed because of the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program. But there have been individuals or businesses that didn't need the money, that got the money, and there's been obviously outright just blatant fraud. But listen to this. So what does Barbra Streisand have to do with the Paycheck Protection Program? Well, the report is that her little film company took $200,000 from the feds for the PPP and paid her gardener to do the lawn at her $20 million mansion.
That's a job.
Come on, is that?
Did the gardener get the whole $200,000?
No, the gardener is one of the beneficiaries. Listen to this. Barbra Streisand's film company, which pays the groundkeeper at her $20 million mansion, got $200,000 in PPP money intended to help small businesses make payroll. They got it written off. How the hell did that happen? This is according to the New York Post. Her Barwood Films Limited receives loans from the Paycheck Protection Program in 2020 and 21 and had them written off by the federal government. That was what they called forgiveness.
They almost wrote every one of them off. I mean, it's not that she's unique in that.
Yeah. Among the workers paid through Barwood Films in 2020 and 2021 was a groundskeeper responsible for the gardens at Barbra Streisand's $20 million Malibu mansion. Come on. Do you think that, first of all, the film company is paying the gardener of
Barbra Streisand?
Really? I don't find that acceptable.
There's some creative accounting there.
Her spokeswoman claimed that Streisand's gardener had not been paid with taxpayer funds, but the New York Post has confirmed that the groundskeeper was employed by Barwood Films when it took public money to make payroll. So why is the film company employing Barbra Streisand's lawnmower? Why? Why is the gardener being paid by Barbra Streisand's film company?
Yeah, I think, like Fester said, creative accounting. Maybe it's like, well, Barbara couldn't be here to do the film if she had to be mowing her lawn, so let's go ahead and pay him.
I could see if there was a gardener that was maybe doing the grounds care for her office, or if she had a small studio. But this sounds like it's a whole paper venture, is what it sounds like.
I'm looking at some of this gardener's work, and he is worth every penny.
Well,
this gardener is fantastic. I mean, I'm not a garden guy.
I, too, am looking at pictures, by the way, Fester. I'm looking. Do you see the little arched bridge by the little babbling brook?
Oh, that's so cute.
I mean, it is really, really amazing stuff.
I've always wanted a babbling brook.
Yeah, tell you what. Is there a morning show with someone named Brooke? That's a babbling brook.
That's the name of the morning show, Babbling Brook.
Oh, I tell you what, that's funny. Ought to be babbling.
She's just like, oh my God, just babbling constantly.
Shut up.
Where the hell did I ever hear the term babbling brook? It seems like it's something out of literature. Like, did I read? Is that famous from a book or?
And he was walking down the babbling brook,
or an E.E. Cummings poem or something. I don't know. Is it the babbling brook? Fester, are you?
Where did it come from?
Are you Googling? Type in origin of babbling brook.
I found a 3-hour YouTube clip.
What?
Of just a babbling brook.
No, that's just trickling water
that
sounds, dude.
lovely.
And yeah, you can listen to 10 hours of babbling brook sounds.
It's very was it ASMR?
ASMR.
Hi guys, my name is Brooke, and I'm just here to babble and just babble and just babble.
Fester, I just unmuted the YouTube. You didn't notice that it was on silent?
I gotta pee.
Yeah. Fester just brought up, this is hours of babbling brook. That's 3 hours. 3 hours of babbling brook sound effects on YouTube. Yeah.
This does
What if you
trigger.
just left this on for 4 hours on the radio? just the whole time of the show. Will we get in
Let's
trouble?
just try it.
You just want to walk out right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right, let's go. All right, see you later, guys.
Bye.
Okay, maybe not.
Okay, I really got to pee.
All right, 6:31 at the MJ Morning Show. Who's screaming over there?
I brought my kid to work and she doesn't know how to shut up.
Why are you yelling, Hadley?
Yeah, stop.
Yeah, Hadley, chill.
Yeah.
I saw the opportunity to say, bye, everybody, I'm leaving.
Oh,
Good move.
Okay, all right.
Good move.
There's one rule around here. Shut up when the lights are on.
All right.
On their lights on, you shut up, kid.
Hadley is welcome. Fessy, don't,
Okay, let's not say shut up to our
yeah,
children.
Fessy, don't be verbally abusive
hold
to your
on,
kid.
this
I'll
is-
call DCF right now.
This is a tough place. I mean, hey, listen, this isn't kindergarten here, kid.
6:31 at the MJ Morning Show. Early morons in the news next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. Let's do it. 6:39 at the MJ Morning Show, and some early morons in the news here on the broadcast on a Monday morning. And there is never a shortage of morons in the news, and of course today is no different. How do you have a guaranteed $1.7 million salary with an NBA team, and you're ripping off Target for hundreds of dollars in goods, including body wash and candles?
Is it one of those instances where they just love to shoplift? I remember kids like that in high school where they had the money to buy things, but it was the thrill of doing something illegal. And
What kids did you know? What high school did you go to again?
I went to Eastlake High School.
Okay, so you're a Pinellas County grad.
Yes.
So you went to Eastlake, and you're telling me that you had friends in high school that didn't need to shoplift. They came from families that were capable, but they shoplifted just for the thrill?
No, you said, are you telling me you had friends who did that? No, none of my friends did that, but I heard about kids who did that. Yes.
Of course, everybody knew a stealer.
Everybody knows.
I know one in the room.
Shoplifter.
Yeah. Oh, well, who's the thief in the room?
Who do you think? Who goes and takes free sodas everywhere and steals free continental breakfasts?
My daughter will tell you. Hadley, who's the most prolific shoplifter you know?
My father.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What?
He steals sugars from Wawa and also the cups.
See?
See? Yeah.
It's little stuff with you.
I'm the prince of petty theft.
Don't you want to set a good example for your... Hadley, what are you, 12 now? How old are you?
I am 12.
So
Have you ever stolen anything?
Lost and found.
Hold on.
You stole something from a lost and
hold on, what?
Well, so
Wait a second. What are you raising a family of grifters?
At her school, there's a lost and found, right? And they throw everything away at the end of this semester. And they're like, if you at that point, they're like, we're throwing it away. It's a free-for-all. So it technically wasn't
that's
shoplifting.
not theft.
Yeah.
That's not shoplifting.
But I am kind of grooming a petty
If
theft.
they're, hold on, at the end of the school year, if it's a grab bag for all the crap in the lost and found, that's not stealing.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross, but it's not stealing.
She's like, Dad, I shoplifted this from school. I'm like, did you?
Well, hold it. You got to set that crap straight. That's not shoplifting.
That's what I told her. Now, me with the sugar packets.
If they're offering kids the ability to clean out the lost and found on the last day of school or whatever,
right,
and no one rightfully claims their goods and merch, and if they offer it to kids, Hadley, that's, by the way, folks, if you're just tuning in, Hadley Fester's 12-year-old daughter in because public schools are closed.
Hello.
Well, good to have you. Yeah, that doesn't qualify as shoplifting.
Would you steal something, though, Hadley? Something that was awesome. Would you steal it?
Yes, I once stole a dinosaur from a park.
Okay.
Hold on.
Right.
Did you have to was it part of the park and you had to lift it out of the park, or was it like a little figurine?
It was a toy
Hold on. Whoa, hang on a minute. Would you steal the giant 30-foot dinosaur from Dinosaur World on
Dino-land?
On I-4?
No, it was one of those Jurassic Park dinosaurs. It was a green one.
Hold on a minute. You stole it?
His name was Fred.
Hang on a minute.
She named. Did you steal it from? Did you steal it from like the bin, like in the shopping area, or did you find it on the floor?
It was from a park in Boston.
Okay.
Hold on, you're ripping off.
You stole something on your Boston trip last year? Good job.
Fester! What is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? You have to stop this.
You're going to get arrested.
You're not built for juvie, Hadley.
Hold on a minute, Hadley. How did you steal? Was it a little plastic toy dinosaur?
Yes.
From where in Boston? What was the place in Boston?
I don't know, but it was Penguin Park.
Okay, Penguin Park.
Penguin Park, then.
All right, so...
Was it a toy in a shop?
No.
Where was it?
It was at the park.
Well, hold on a minute, but was it inside a gift shop?
No.
Well, then where'd you get it?
At the park.
Oh, my gosh.
Was it like in the shopping area where you could buy other things, or did you find it somewhere?
Sounds like she found
It
it.
was on the ground.
That's not shoplifting. That's not shoplifting. Hold on a minute. Wait. All right, stop.
Okay.
Hadley. You were first. What is Penguin Park?
That place sounds awful.
Remember I told you about my deadbeat brother-in-law Jim, who lives in Massachusetts.
I don't remember.
He's a deadbeat, huh?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Last year, Hadley and Grandma went to visit them in Andover, Massachusetts.
Right.
And I guess Penguin Park is something that people from Massachusetts do. I don't know.
It's a local.
It's by a train. Like a train railroad, and we saw the same train pass by 3 different times.
Yeah, that's what trains do.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what happens. You know, I was in New York, and the freaking one train, the red train, it kept going by over and over and over again. It was insane.
It was like
It was crazy. I was at Columbus Circle, and the train just kept going by and by. Anyway, so you found a little plastic dinosaur on the ground in this park, and you picked it up.
Yes.
And it was not in a store. Is this an admission park, or is this just some open park? Do we know?
I don't really know.
Yeah, I've never heard of this place until today.
All right, so Hadley, wait a minute. Hadley, you found this on the ground, like in the woods, on a trail, on...
No, it was at the park. Like
All right, it looks like a community park just named Penguin Park.
All right, so you just found a toy on the ground, is what you're saying, Hadley, right?
Yes.
That's not shoplifting.
That's stealing.
No, that's not stealing. If you find something on the ground, if you're walking down the sidewalk.
Finders keepers, as they say.
That's what that's called. Yep.
If you're walking down the sidewalk in downtown Tampa, and let's say you find a calculator. You find...
Oh, no, I actually found a calculator at my school. It's a pretty good one. It does fractions.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
TI-82?
All right. So, you find something on the ground. You know, look around. I mean, if you see somebody drop something, then you say, hey, you just dropped this. But if you just find something, you're in public, and you're in a public little park with little slides and swings and little playground equipment, and that's what it looks like. It just looks like it's an open public park.
That's Penguin Park.
I was thinking it was like SeaWorld or something like that.
Yeah, Hadley, that's not shoplifting. If you just find a toy, a little plastic dinosaur that some kid dropped in a park, it's not shoplifting. Shoplifting, Hadley, can you give me an example of what you think shoplifting is?
That one guy we saw at Circle K who was shoving his pockets full of stuff.
Yes.
Yes,
That
is
That guy
shoplifting.
was shoplifting.
See,
yes.
that is shop. You saw that?
Yes.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
my mom saw it and she pointed it out to me and she said, Hadley, never do that. And I was
Okay.
like,
She should have
okay.
ratted them out.
Yeah. All right. So you saw what were they shoving in their pockets?
Tchotchkes.
She's funnier than you.
I have plenty of tchotchkes.
I know.
Tchotchkes and baubles and
You gotta bring
Yes,
your daughter
all
in
kinds
more
of good
often,
stuff.
Fester.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not as grumpy as you.
That's what you need to do.
I would love to have Hadley
All
sit
right.
in this seat right here.
Listen, you
but-
guys and her tchotchkes.
But Roxanne, Hadley, so guy at Circle K shoving stuff in his pockets, that's shoplifting.
Yes.
You finding a little plastic dinosaur at some little park up in Andover, Massachusetts, that's not shoplifting. Right. You go to Busch Gardens and you walk into some shop where they're selling tchotchkes and you look around and see if anyone's looking at you, and then you grab something off the shelf and put it in your pocket and walk out. That is
Shoplifting.
correct.
And you would never do that, right?
Look at this.
My brother Hudson has.
Oh,
wow. Was it an accident?
Wait a minute. Hold on. So your brother Hudson is what, 6 or 7?
7.
All right, and what did he rip off?
When he was 2, he grabbed a pink toy car
Where?
Punk.
at Target.
Oh, and did he shove it in his pants?
Yes.
And then you found out after you had left?
Yes, my mother found out in the parking lot and she went back and paid for it.
Well,
He shoved it in his diaper.
Look at that. That is a good example of a good mommy. Allison is an upstanding, fine citizen and went back in and paid for the car.
Yes.
Wow.
Look at that.
What are you raising, bro?
I was to say, if Hudson would have taken it on my watch, you'd had himself a free pink car.
All right. You know what?
Yeah, probably
All right.
brown
All
after
right,
he put it in his diaper.
Hey, Hadley, follow the example of your mother, not your...
Father.
Exactly. Yes,
That's
exactly.
right.
Great
So,
advice.
I didn't even get to the damn story yet.
So, is there an NBA player
Yes.
that has a remarkable amount of stuff in common with that guy at Circle K stealing tchotchkes?
Ryan Rollins accused Washington Wizards. And guess what?
Ooh, I
guess
love the Wizards.
I guess, well, it used to be, remember there used to be the Washington Bullets? But then it became sort of politically incorrect since there were so many shootings every weekend in Washington, D.C.
Well, I think like 10 years straight, Washington was like the murder capital of the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
And how did they get through a game wearing those pointy hats? It's crazy.
And their broomsticks. It
'Cause
gives an
they're
advantage.
And eyes get poked out with the Harry Potter wands
They
during
all
the
have to
game.
grow the long
Exactly.
beard. It's so stupid.
If they were really wizards, they'd win every game.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a
Three-pointed.
It's a very good point. So NBA player Ryan Rollins accused of stealing groceries, body wash, and candles from the same Target store 7 different times, despite last season or this season being guaranteed $1.7 million in salary. But it looks like the
It's pretty
Wizards.
low for the NBA, isn't it?
Well, listen, he's 21 years old.
Damn.
And it looks like the Wizards just cut him anyway. It looks like they just booted him.
You will no longer be a wizard.
Now, it looks like he's booted. Yeah, $1.7 million guaranteed salary this season. Looks like the Wizards just let him go. Well, they still have to pay him. But the guy's ripping off crap from a Target in the D.C. area in Northern Virginia? Really?
I heard the Wizards just picked up Ron Weasley on a great deal.
he's playing forward.
Fantastic.
You love Ron Weasley.
I love
Froggy.
Ron Weasley. Yes. He's a wizard.
The boy who lived.
She knows her movie references.
Wow, good for you. You're better than your dumb dad.
It's the MJ Morning Show with Roxanne, MJ, Froggy, and Hadley.
You're killing it, kid.
Fester just drives her to the show every week. That's it. Holy crap.
Sometimes picks you up.
Sometimes, Hadley, we have to leave early today. We have to pick up MJ.
Unbelievable. All right. Hey, early morons in the news and a nice little what's shoplifting and what's not shoplifting lesson for Fester's 12-year-old daughter. 6:51 at the MJ Morning Show. Folks, if Morning show on Q105. MJ and the crew here. Fester, Froggy, Roxanne, Hadley, Fester's little 12-year-old daughter, joining us in the studio today because of no school, because of the MLK Observation Day. I want to talk about the stupidest snowflake. You got to be kidding me. I got viscerally angry when I saw this. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Are you really? I'm just doing my normal out and about preparation. I've got like 100 different sites that I have bookmarked, and I go here, I go there, just looking for things. And, life falls in our lap every single day, so that's content on the program. But listen, I read a lot of stuff. I go to a lot of websites. Roxanne does, Fester does, Froggy does zero. But
I do tons of prep. I just keep it to myself.
Right. Thank you.
I send it to other shows.
It's the show in your head.
I send it to Chad and Christy.
Now,
people who appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, listen to this. I'm like, are you kidding me? Now, this has to do with our friends to the north up in Canada. And I just thought this was the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time. Cops in Canada are warning that if you post videos of package thieves, porch pirates, that could be violating their rights.
Really?
Are you freaking kidding me?
What are you talking about? They're on your property.
I want to go up to Canada and punch somebody right now. Are you kidding me? Police up in Canada, in the province of Quebec, are warning citizens: if you catch a porch pirate, if you catch a pirating package putz, ripping off boxes, like the UPS guy, the FedEx guy, the Amazon, whoever, leaves a package on your porch, somebody then rips the stuff off. You capture it on, let's say, a Ring doorbell or Blink or one of the surveillance, and you post that video. Hey, take a look at this. This porch pirates, that you could be violating their rights. What is wrong with them up in Canada? Are you freaking kidding me?
I mean, even in Canada, I'd probably take my chances with that one.
Police in Quebec are warning citizens against posting surveillance footage of their packages being stolen because it could violate the so-called, quote, private life of the thieves. Montreal West, known for nice houses, large porches. Around the holidays, the porches are a huge target. See, the Canadians have porch pirate problems as well.
Hey.
Yar. Hey.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
Yeah, I'm going on out and about to steal some packages. Hey.
Oh, hey, matey.
Hey. So this area in West Montreal, I guess, is a big target for package thieves. And Canadian television, CTV, did a news story on this. It's something we deal with on a daily basis, said the Montreal West councillor responsible for public safety. You have people that are following the vehicle, and when they see a parcel that's dropped off, they go take the parcel if nobody comes to the door to retrieve the parcel. However, the province's local police force warned local citizens against sharing footage of alleged porch thieves. Listen to this. Quote, you cannot post the images yourself because you have to remember in Canada, we have a presumption of innocence, and posting that picture could be a violation of private life, said the local police communications officer, Lieutenant Benoit Richard. Why don't you go shove your butt with some poutine? Are you kidding? The presumption of innocence? The delivery truck, and we have the same problem here in the United States, where you've got thieves that will roll around. They'll watch the UPS brown truck, the FedEx truck, the Amazon delivery trucks. They'll watch in a neighborhood as the trucks drop off the packages on the front porch, hang back a little bit, and then go grab the packages. This has been going on for years. So you're telling me that you're going to, and I do believe in innocent until proven guilty, but why don't you tell me how there could be an innocent explanation for a guy is following the Amazon truck, waits for the delivery to be made, parks in front of your house, gets out of their car, goes onto your property, your porch, and steals the package addressed to you that was dropped off at your house. How is that a need for the presumption of innocence?
You know, Canadians I've always thought of them, I guess, as being very nice people.
Or passive, maybe.
So fired up about this, dude. It's not even here. It's a big deal.
Well, because I saw this, I'm like, you got to be kidding me, because we don't have this threat. We don't have this warning here in the United States.
Thankfully.
This is grounds for a war with Canada, Froggy.
I'll sign up right now.
Let's go. We can take them.
Like I said. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, this made me angry. I'm like, in what freaking world is this right? That the police are saying, oh, yeah, you better be careful posting the image from your Ring doorbell of porch pirates stealing your crap right off the front porch that's been addressed to you and delivered by UPS, FedEx, Amazon. No. Oh, you better not post that video.
You're doing it wrong.
That could be a violation. What?
It's Quebec. So they speak French there.
Quebec.
Yeah, so they say, no, you must not post the photo of the porch pirate.
That's not what French people sound like. You sound like the dumb, skunk.
Like Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah, it's very cheesy and old.
Are you telling me that I do not sound like Pepe Le Pew?
Molesting the other stupid skunk.
I'm sorry. This made me angry. I mean, I was like smoke was coming out of my ears.
Yeah, we could tell.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Benoit Richard. I'm looking at a still shot. I'll hold this up to MJTV so you can see I'm making it up. I'm not making it up. So this is from the story. This is Benoit Richard from the Montreal police warning people, oh, yeah, you get ripped off. You better not post the video of the thief ripping the crap off your front porch because it could violate their rights. Oh, I'm sorry.
Never trust a guy with the name Benoit.
You know what? I want to go light this guy's porch on fire. Oh, but you better not post a picture of the arsonist. Oh, you no.
No.
I mean, how freaking ridiculous is that? That is as dumb as it gets.
Like I need another reason to not like Canadians.
There's a lot of pedophiles in Canada.
What? Whoa.
Yeah.
I've got no problem with Canadians. I know plenty of Canadians. I've got Canadian friends. I've got friends that were from Canada that are now U.S. citizens.
We have Canadian listeners.
Oh, yeah. Listen, this is the time of the year that a lot of the Canadians are driving slow on our roads around town. And not leaving tips locally.
Primarily the reasons why I don't like Canadians.
I love Canadians.
No, there's nothing wrong with...
We have Canadian renters, and they're very lovely.
Listen, we have Canadian listeners. There's a Canadian dude that is a big listener, listens online or listens whenever they're in town. And they were in town, and I met him and his wife and their friends. I met them at the Best Buy parking lot like 3-4 months ago.
Nice to meet you.
The thing in the province of Quebec. I don't know if that's the same deal in Saskatchewan or Calgary, Alberta, Ontario. I don't know.
Yeah, but Saskatchewan.
What'd you say?
Isn't this how they talk in Saskatchewan? Isn't this
really?
it?
I don't think so.
I am from Saskatchewan.
What are you
Isn't that how they sound?
No.
What are you saying?
No?
Hey, I
think you're thinking Wuhan. Froggy,
I come from the place of Saskatchewan. Where are you from?
You're way off.
No? You're focused on the Juan part of that.
You're sounding like Borat almost.
Oh, man, maybe not.
That's what you sounded like. Listen, we were out in British Columbia a year ago. We were skiing at Whistler a little over a year ago. And, hey, everyone was very nice. I had a great time. I like Canada. But, man, this just pissed me off. It's the dumbest thing. Oh, you better not post the videos of the porch pirates stealing your stuff because it's a violation of their privacy. I'm sorry. You give up your privacy when you rip off the delivery that's just been dropped off by UPS on my front porch. You give up that right to privacy. Tell you what, their privacy laws need a kick in the balls is what needs up in Canada. Now, I would fully approve of that. Now, I'm not a huge Food Network person, but Fester, you are.
I was, but I've gotten away from it.
All right. Did you know who Darnell Ferguson is?
Nope.
All right. Anybody? Darnell? I just saw this. I thought someone in the room. Food Network star Darnell Ferguson?
He's in trouble, right?
Yeah, he strangled, I guess he strangled someone.
I thought he was going to say he choked his chicken or something, which would be an episode of his show.
Food Network star Darnell Super Chef Ferguson arrested on multiple charges, including strangulation, burglary, and terroristic threatening in Kentucky. Last week, Ferguson, 36, was booked into the Louisville Metropolitan Department of Corrections. Online booking records show that in addition to the aforementioned charges, Ferguson also faces misdemeanor charges of assault, menacing, criminal mischief.
I love menacing charges.
Details on what led to the arrest are unclear. This is from People magazine. So I guess they're calling him Food Network star.
I guess he has a show, or he won a show called Super Chef. I haven't watched Food Network in a very long time.
Well, he's a strangler, or at least an alleged strangler. So maybe Darnell Ferguson's Choke Your Chicken. Maybe that is a good show.
That sounds like a food truck. If
Tell
you
you
ask
what,
me.
speaking of chicken, man, I tell you, no,
You choked it?
no, Froggy, come
Oh, I
on.
thought we were going.
No, I
Choked it.
bought some chicken thighs. You know, a big, like, you know, the 5-pound, like the rectangular, like whole thing of chicken thighs.
Where'd you buy them from? Trader Joe's or Costco?
No, I got them at Publix.
Publix
Yeah.
has the ball
Or
of chicken.
they were frozen.
No, they're not
Or
frozen.
they're fresh.
No, they're fresh.
Okay.
They're inside they might have been previously frozen and thawed, but I have the fresh chicken thighs, and it's like a 5-pound deal. And man, I tell you what, you cook those things in the oven at 400 degrees for like 40 minutes. You know, a little salt, pepper, paprika, a little garlic salt. Man, I made some chicken thighs for dinner that were just stupendous. And, you know, the internal temperature for chicken, you're supposed to get to 165. But if you bake your chicken thighs, Fester,
Yeah.
200.
Whoa.
You want to bake them to 200, and then, because that allows kind of the muscle and the fat to really tenderize, and it's amazing. So, folks, little cooking tip from MJ
Thanks, Emerald.
is do not stop cooking your chicken thighs at 165. No. You want to take your chicken thighs up to 200, and they are spectacular.
It's the Emerald J Morning Show.
Yeah, just a little food tip from the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. All right, when we get back, we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. 1 hour and 20 minutes. No commercials, no music, just nonstop. An hour and 20 minutes, including, I have to have another little alien conversation with Froggy because another alien deal's been debunked.
Whatever. Prove it to me.
Dude, listen.
Prove that it's been debunked.
There was another item that you brought to us like 4 or 5 months ago, and it's been totally debunked. So we'll get to that coming up in just a bit. We have a lot. I can't even get into everything that we're going to do because we have an hour and 20 minutes to fill, and I promise you will be entertained free of charge here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. No. Yes, nocturnal junkie. Only 4 cookies. That's. I gotta. I think he's giving me crap. I think this dude on Instagram is commenting. I think he's giving me crap. Yes, only 4. Are you busting my butt?
I was wondering the same thing.
That's all that was left. There were only 4 balls left. There were only 4 cookie dough balls left in the freezer from the big batch that Michelle made months and months ago. Man, I tell you what, you put them in a plastic container, you wrap them in like saran wrap, you put them in the freezer. I'm telling you, it's like what
the hell are you talking
it's
about?
like a 25-year like a shelf life for like that bunker food. You know the prepper food where you buy like a bucket of like bunker food for the apocalypse. Oh, and it's got a 25-year shelf life. Now, Froggy, you wondering what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're just talking about cookies?
Well, I'm having a visceral reaction here. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, I baked the cookies over the weekend, and they were spectacular. Welcome, folks. It is the MJ Morning Show. This is Q105. We are live today on this Monday, the 15th of January. MLK Observation Day for the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr. I made cookies over the weekend, and during the break there, I was just looking at my Instagram to see any comments, anything that I got to deal with here. And I'm just looking at my notifications, and one of the recent notifications is from Nocturnal Junkie, and they commented on my cookie post on my Instagram feed, only 4 cookies. Yes, Nocturnal, because that's all that was left. And, we want them fresh. That's the beauty of these frozen cookie balls, is that you just take what you need. I mean, you don't want to make a whole it's not like you have a whole bag of Chips Ahoy or something. No, Michelle and I each were going to have 2 cookies, so it worked out perfectly. We never really bake more than 4 cookies, maybe 6 tops at a time. And what I'm talking about here is the chocolate chip cookie recipe that is the absolute best in the world. It is a cookie recipe that is the only chocolate chip cookie recipe you'll ever need. We've talked about that. It's the famous Jacques Torres New York Times cookie recipe, which produces the best, hands down, chocolate chip cookie you've ever eaten. And Michelle, I think it's a year ago or almost a year ago, that's when she made the last batch of dough. And she follows the recipe exactly. I mean, Roxanne, the recipe is so crazy, and you got to follow it to a T. The recipe, for example, on the flour, it's something like 2 cups of flour minus 2 tablespoons. So 2 cups of flour, but then you got to take 2 tablespoons out.
So precise.
Well, that's the point.
Interesting.
I want to make a point about you, MJ, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way.
Now, I'm not done with the cookie stuff yet, so you're going to take me down a different path?
Okay, well,
you're not?
This proves my point. Continue talking about cookies, and then I'd like to make a cookie observation.
Okay.
Well, I posted the video of the cookie slam as well. And, man, Fester, go to my website. Go to my Instagram. Go to Certified MJ Radio. That's the actual cookie slam. Go back and look at the finished cookie. Look how phenomenal that is.
Is it a little crisp to it around the edges, or is it all chewy?
It depends. If you eat them right out of the oven,
I like a little crisp.
There might be a little crisp on the edges, but when they're hot and chewy, they're phenomenal. But
any milk?
No, I don't want milk. I had whiskey with the cookie.
What a weirdo!
I'm gonna dip my cookie in whiskey.
Ew.
I dip my chocolate chip cookie in I use some. I use the Rittenhouse Rye for old fashions. No, I in some Elijah Craig barrel proof.
Nice. You use a cookie as a bitter.
I'm kidding. Anyway, bottom line is, folks, I'm telling you right now, this cookie is incredible. And what's got me going here is there's just that nocturnal dude on my IG comment said only 4 cookies. Yeah, because Michelle made a whole batch of these cookies like a year ago. And then first of all, you got to let them sit in the fridge for like 36 to 72 hours or 48 to 70. Seriously, you make the dough and then you let it sit in the fridge before you even use it. And then she takes a little ice cream scooper, like the small scoop, and she scoops out these cookie balls And I have the pictures on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. So if you go to Certified MJ Radio, you'll see the completed baked cookie, which looks like the best cookie you've ever seen. And you think I'm wrong? Go to my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. But there are a couple of pictures in that. So swipe, and you'll see what the frozen cookie ball looks like. And you just put the frozen ball on the cookie sheet. You bake it for like 18 minutes, and it's absolute perfection. And I'm telling you, you will not have a chocolate chip cookie better than this cookie.
Have you ever been to Great American Cookie Company?
Dude,
those are pretty good.
Dude, I'm telling you right now.
I mean, Otis Spunkmeyer is rolling over in his grave right now.
This cookie, this chocolate chip cookie is the famous Jacques Torres New York Times recipe.
Yes, Jacques Itch Torres.
it's all over the internet. So if you just search Jacques Torres New York Times chocolate chip cookie recipe, it is all over the place. You can find it. Follow the directions. And yes, Nocturnal, only 4 cookies because those are the balls that were left. But even then, we want them fresh out of the oven. So when we make these, we only bake, 4, 6 at a time. That's it. All right. So, and then the cookie slam. Before I move on, and Roxanne's going to obviously bust my balls on something, but the cookie slam is a video. So the still shots are of the finished cookie. Then the cookie slam, and of course, you got to do the cookie slam. Michelle, you ready to get the slam? Here we go. Look how puffy they are. We do the slam, and whoa! Look at those. They flatten right out. Bam! All right.
You might be the biggest dork I've ever known.
Ever.
You take the cookie tray out, and then you got to slam it down on the counter or on the stovetop because the cookies are a little puffy. And you do the slam, and it just flattens them out like instantly, just and you let them sit for a second. Then you scoop them, put them on a cooling rack, and they are delectable. I'm telling you right now, look at the cookie slam video, and then look at the actual chocolate chip cookie and the frozen dough ball on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. And yes, Nocturnal, only 4 cookies. Got a problem with that?
Yeah.
Jeez, right. Nocturnal. Thanks a lot.
Nocturnal.
So on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, and if you like the crap, just give me a follow because you never know what the hell's going to pop up. I've got some other things to talk about a little later on. Yes, Roxanne, the floor is yours.
Okay. During one of the breaks, we were talking, we in the room were having sort of an offhanded discussion about addiction, something we saw in the news. And I made the comment, we've all dealt with this. I meant in more of a familial way. And you said to me, geez, Roxanne, what are you addicted to? You know what I think? You are a sweet treat food addict. You're a cookie addict.
Oh,
I listen
loves
to
treats.
you talk about it. You've got all your paraphernalia like an addict. You've got your rituals. You've got your obsessive way you talk about it. You aren't necessarily selling family heirlooms to fund your cookie habit, but you're definitely hoarding the dough in the freezer and you're defensive even to this Nocturnal guy. Like you're a cookie addict. So you asked the question earlier, what am I addicted to? Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself.
That's right. Good point.
I think there's a difference between somebody with an addiction and somebody who appreciates a good
chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, yeah. Coming from a fat ass.
Listen, you don't see...
Froggy, don't call Fester a fat ass. That's not
selling
nice.
His plasma
That's not
to
nice.
raise funds for cookies.
Yeah. I'm not at a traffic stop and they find 3 crack pipes in the center console.
It hasn't ruined your life yet, but you are clearly addicted to cookies.
Look, what are you talking about? We haven't baked these in 4 months.
There's an obsession there. What, just because you went 4 months without doing it, you think that makes you clean?
I fell off the wagon.
You did.
They don't give you like a token if you don't have a cookie for 4 months.
That's a stretch.
He's addicted to treats, definitely.
Anyway.
You ever gone to a gas station with him? He has to get a Slurpee.
Ooh, you get a Slurpee and a pork rinds.
Yeah. It's like he always needs a treat.
You want to see classy MJ turn to trailer trash in like 15 seconds, go right back to his hillbilly Virginia roots. You take him to a gas station and he comes out with a Slurpee and pork rinds.
Always.
These are so good. And then the first thing he'll tell you when he eats his pork rinds is, they're fantastic. I don't have these very often, but every time we go to,
but I will get the roof ripped.
The half a dozen times I've been to a gas station with MJ, they have pork rinds.
Yeah, they all do. Oh, Slurpees. Look at that.
The one thing with me and pork rinds,
what is it?
I eat them very infrequently, but I like them.
Yeah, sure.
Like I might have 1 bag of pork rinds a year. I always inhale the dust and it gets stuck in my lung, and I end up with a hacking cough for like 3 hours.
That's called a rind. It's pork lung. Yes. Happens to everybody.
I've got pork lung is what I got. Hey, I saw something funny last night. I got to be, I think, a little delicate. You know, one of my favorite websites is the Villages News. And this is a publication up in, was it like Sumter County? And
Sumter and Marion?
well,
Something like that?
doesn't the Villages
County?
doesn't it stretch through like 3 different counties or something? Anyway, the Villages are obviously huge. The Villages, and there's a publication up there called the Villages News. Yeah, the Villages spans 3 counties, Lake, Sumter, and Marion counties for the Villages. And we always poke through the Villages News because there's generally a good story for morons in the news. I'm on the Villages News website last night, and there was a letter to the editor complaining. Letter to the editor. And the headline, what grabbed my attention was, your story was too graphic and didn't need those details. I'm like, okay, you got my attention. Let me click on this letter to the editor from the Villages News. To the editor, this is not appropriate to describe in detail the arrest of 2 men at Lake Okahumpka. And by the way, the hump part of Lake Okahumpka is very accurate and pertains directly to the story.
Was that lake named after the horniest Indian?
Lake? Be horny.
Lake Okahumpa.
No, Humpka. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it properly, but it's Lake Okahumpka, Okahumpka. Lake Okahumpka.
Oh.
Okay? So the person's complaining this is not appropriate to describe in detail the arrest of 2 men at Lake Okahumpka. It was offensive and not needed. I'm not sure why this is worthy of all the details. Signed, Marianne Pazinza from the village of Chitty Chatty.
Yeah, they have a bunch of weird names for these villages.
So she's from the village, because in the villages, they have all the little different sub-villages, and they all have different names, right? So the villages is made up of all of the villages. So she's from Chitty Chatty. So I'm like, wait a minute. She is upset over a story detailing the arrest of 2 men at Lake Okahumpka. We'll talk about the hump here in a second. So, I mean, obviously this caught my attention. Man, she's complaining about the details. Let me go find the story. And they were kind enough in the story to have a link to the original story.
Good job.
Right. So there was a hyperlink on describe in detail the arrest of 2 men. That was a hyperlink, so I was able to click on it. So I printed up the story. Villager arrested after engaging in apparent sex act with man in local park. And it's Lake Okahumpka. Should I sanitize this for broadcast?
No, let it go.
No.
Let it fly.
A villager was arrested after engaging in an apparent sex act with another man in a local park. There had been complaints of suspicious people and activities at Lake Okahumpka
Yes.
on State Road 44 in Wildwood, according to the Sumter County Sheriff's Office. Those complaints prompted increased patrols, including one about 3 p.m. on Wednesday that led to the discovery of 68-year-old David Samuel Tansey of the village of St. Catherine, who appeared to be naked in the wood line of the park in a publicly accessible area, according to an arrest report. He was bent over with another male directly behind. Anyway.
Oh,
What was happening?
Maybe I agree with this letter to the
Yeah.
editor.
So
It was really
I need
graphic.
more deets.
I stopped short, and I didn't read some of the further detail here. When Tansey noticed the deputy approaching, he began to put on his pants before falling on his rump.
Ow.
he fell in his rump at Lake Hump.
That's in the police report. He was arrested on charges of indecent exposure and committing an unnatural and lascivious act. The second man, who was naked from the waist down, was identified as 60-year-old Vincent Mark Roberts of Summerfield. He was also arrested on a charge of committing an unnatural and lascivious act. Well, both men booked into the Sumter County detentions. So I wanted to see exactly what. I mean, that's pretty explicit.
It is.
Yes.
You know, so do you think that Marianne Pazenza of the village of Chitty Chatty, do you think her letter to the editor complaining about the detail of the story, you think that was warranted?
I think the old lady has a point. I mean, I thought she was like some old curmudgeon when you were reading the original letter, but now that I've heard the article, She's kind of right.
So you thought she was some old biddy from Chitty,
I'll tell you.
from Chitty Chatty.
However, Big Chief Okahumpka, he's very proud.
Humpka.
Oh,
I mean, the lake has got hump in the middle of it, and you're dealing with.
Okahumpka.
There you go. 740 at the MJ Morning Show. Yeah, you never know what you're going to see on that website. 740 MJ Morning Show on Q105, and we have a wedding mistake, and I want to know. We might take phone calls on this here on a Monday on the MJ Morning Show. Is this a thing? A woman claims that she was booted, that she was kicked out of her friend's wedding because of something that she did at the bachelorette party, and says, oops, I made a big mistake at the bachelorette party and I was disinvited from the wedding, thrown out of the wedding. Any idea what the mistake is? Anyone want to take it? So what mistake did this woman make at the bride-to-be's bachelorette party that got her kicked out of the wedding?
I mean, I can think about several of them.
Does that have to do with like a male stripper situation?
Good guess. Good guess.
No. Incorrect.
Drinking too much, something in that realm.
Nope.
Did you say that the bride looked like a cow? Or a big marshmallow in her dress?
Nope.
All right, can we get a hint?
Yeah, I mean, there's really a lot of ways you can go about this.
I'm just going to cut to the chase.
Oh,
all right.
Please.
Whoa, no.
Amy claims that she was kicked out of the wedding because she posted pictures from the bachelorette party on her social media without permission.
What an idiot.
You know
Is
what?
that true?
Yeah, she deserves it.
Hold on. You have to get Roxanne. You have to get permission if you're at a
Yeah,
bachelorette party.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
So, yeah, I would think that's a social faux pas because the whole what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas rule applies to bachelor and bachelorette parties. You don't post pictures.
No. Because, for so many reasons, it's kind of an exclusive party. Maybe the bride just doesn't want her other friends to see that they weren't invited to this. I mean, it's just, she deserves to get kicked out. Especially if there was anything wrong with the picture she posted.
Let's grab a couple of calls on this. I don't know how the phones are going to be because it is the federal holiday today. 800-990-1047. Just curious. What are your thoughts? I mean, are you a bride-to-be? Did you have a bachelorette party recently? Did you have a bachelorette party years ago? What are your thoughts on this apparent etiquette faux pas? I mean, so angering to the bride-to-be that she tossed this woman, a good friend, off the invite list for the wedding because she posted pictures of the bachelorette party?
I kind of need to see the pictures too.
The bride must have done something.
All right, 800-990-1047.
Naughty.
Would love to get a take on this. If you have any opinion on this, to me, off the bat, if you've got a good friend, I don't think that is deemed like ejection worthy. What are your thoughts on this? Again, I don't know how the phone volume is going to be today on the federal holiday. 800-990-1047. That's 800-990-1047. Do you think that that's worthy to get kicked out of a wedding? That you posted pictures from the bachelorette party without permission, so the bride-to-be boots this friend of hers from attending the wedding?
Yeah, but what are the pictures of?
Yeah, we need
like a guy hooking
yeah.
up with the bride? Or are they just like at a paint and drink wine place?
It says she posted bachelorette party pictures to social media without approval.
Well, I need more deets.
Is what it says. It was just a party weekend. I mean, just in general. Let's hit phones. Andrew's screening calls right now. Just your opinion on this. Is this a thing? Is this worthy of breaking a friendship? Throwing somebody off your invitation list? 800-990-1047. That's how you get in. Grab a couple of calls on this. Again, I would expect volume is going to be a little lighter today because there are, the kids are all out of school. A lot of places are closed today. 800-990-1047. Let me grab Dawn in St. Pete. Dawn, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show. What are your thoughts on this woman getting kicked out of the wedding?
I'm here.
Yeah, Dawn, go ahead. What are your thoughts?
I totally agree with that. There's probably pretty unflattering pictures of the bride doing things that, social media can be seen by your bosses, your relatives, your future relatives. So yeah, fortunately for me, both times I was married was way before social media, so I had nothing, to worry about. But I have been to some parties before where if things got posted, I would definitely have been very angry.
All right, so a little more like at your bachelorette party, what was the worst thing that happened?
Oh, God, it was so long ago. Just some probably inappropriate stuff with the stripper, maybe.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Just
So
some of
you had a stripper at your bachelorette party?
Yeah, who doesn't?
Is that Roxanne? When's the last bachelorette party you attended?
In 2016 in Miami.
All right, and was there a stripper there?
No, there wasn't. It was just dinners and nightclubs.
Gotcha. Dawn, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Andrew's still screening calls, so if there are some more, we'll take him in a second. So apparently, the bride found out mid-bachelorette party weekend that pictures had been posted, and the final night of the bachelorette party at dinner, the bride put a ban in place. So put a phone ban in place. So at dinner said there are no phones allowed at this dinner. After, I guess, the bride was made aware that this attendee at the bachelorette party had posted some previous pictures. So then put a phone ban in effect and then verbally attacked the friend that posted the pictures. And then subsequently threw her out of the wedding. Apparently said, "You're not in the wedding. You're now banned from my wedding."
Yeah, it is. I would have always been under the assumption you don't post photos of things like that.
All right, let me grab Joe in Tampa. Joe, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning, MJ.
Hey,
Hi.
Joe.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm a dinosaur. I'm going to die a dinosaur. And my theory on it is if you've done something you shouldn't have done, oh, well, you shouldn't have done it. Suck it up, buttercup. The girl simply posted pictures. If there was something incriminating in it, then you shouldn't have started it. You're getting married.
I thought when you were saying you're a dinosaur, you were going to go in the direction of, like, don't take pictures. Just don't photograph it. Don't have photographic evidence.
No. You photograph everything growing up. My parents always had a camera in their hand. If you did something that wasn't right, you shouldn't have done it to start with.
Is it hard to hold the phone with your dinosaur arms?
With little T-Rex arms, is that it?
Well, if you act prim and proper, or at least proper, then you've got nothing to worry about.
Are you a carnivore or an herbivore?
Joe, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. All right, we got a guy that wants to get in on this. Let me grab Enrique in Palmetto. Enrique, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, thank you for taking my call. So yeah, your very own co-host agrees that the woman should have disinvited her own friend. I mean, if the woman's not doing anything worthy of being disinvited, if she's not like screwing another guy at her bachelorette party, why supposedly it's one of her good friends. I mean, that just seems really petty to me. I mean,
well, I think like one of the other callers made a great point, and she said, you have your boss that looks at your social media. You have the in-laws that look at it. Maybe she put photos up and tagged her in them. Maybe there was a request. Let's take photos, but let's make sure we don't post any of these, at least without approval. So you don't know what the parameters were beforehand.
All right, so it seems like Fester and you, Roxanne, you agree that posting the bachelorette party photos without permission is worthy of getting kicked out of the wedding?
It's the bride's event. So if the bride wants to post him and tag you in him, great. But if it's, why are you just going to put stuff out there that might be funny to you, but she may have wanted that to stay between her friends.
Enrique, thanks for the call. Heather in Hudson. Hello, Heather in Hudson. Nothing like some phone line alliteration. Hello, Heather. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi. Yeah, so I just wanted to say that maybe she should have mentioned something at the beginning that she didn't want pictures posted or acting appropriate.
Oh, like at the Dave Chappelle concerts, they collect all the cell phones and put them in a sealed bag, right?
No, not really that.
Oh, okay.
but-
Oh, well, thanks for pooping on that.
All right, Heather, I know what you're saying. So the bride-to-be should have laid ground rules from the beginning. And, in this day and age, maybe that should be a given that if you don't want any photos, do not take photos, do not post them on social media. I mean, I've been to events or I've been to things where it has been said, do not post this on social media.
Yeah, so have I.
All right, so you think that should have been done to quell the issue?
No, I think so. Yeah, that's my opinion.
All right, thanks. Nick is in Clearwater. Nick is a male. Nick wants to talk about his bachelor party and something similar. Nick in Clearwater, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hi.
Yeah, this is going back a while, but when I had my bachelor party, one of my brother's good friends was staying in my house because he was out of town, and, we had a stripper and everything. And, it got to the point where, she was dancing around me and, they got pretty much all my clothes off. Well, he got home probably around 1 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get home till like 3. And my wife-to-be asked me what went on. And I told her I was honest with everything and what happened and stuff. And she said, oh, good, because Kenny told me that's exactly what happened. And I grabbed that guy right out of bed and threw him out of my house.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, so Kenny was staying at your house?
To tell her. Yep, he told her everything.
So you threw Kenny out of your house at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yep, they get the hell out of here, man.
And did you ever see Kenny again?
Nope.
Hold on, that was it? Your friendship was over at 3 o'clock in the morning? That was it? Done? Kaput?
That was it. He was more of a friend of my brother's, but it was like he had no right to tell her exactly what went on at this bachelor party with the stripper, and it was just crazy.
All right, Nick, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Let me take one more call on this. Jody, last call, then we move on to... I got to burst Froggy's alien button again.
Don't burst my button?
I'm sorry, bubble.
Yeah, not his button. Leave his
That's-
button alone.
Push my button.
His bubble,
Okay,
you
I'll-
can have all the fun you want.
All right, I'm going to push Froggy's alien button and I'm going to burst his bubble. That's what I should have said. Jody, Dade City. Jody, MJ Morning Show. Final word on this and the bachelorette party fiasco. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is the bride's special day. It's more emotional to her than anything, and she wants it to go off, without a hitch. She should have the final say of when those pictures go out, what pictures go out. It's her day. Regardless of what happened or how risque it got, it's her decision.
Well put. And you know what? Brides are so anxious. You're already nervous about getting married or or about the big day at least. Maybe you're thrilled about getting married, but the big day is making you all wound up. So,
well, you know how companies or celebrities, they're so protective of their image and they want to control every aspect of what's out there. We've done stories over the years about celebrities or brands that they're so conscious that even the simplest things that you would think are okay, they frown upon it or they stop it or, whatever. Jody, good call. Thanks. I appreciate it. Moving along. And I'm going to have to burst Froggy's alien bubble here again.
So in the last week, we talked about the Miami Mall.
It's been crazy. So there are 3 things. In the last week alone, Froggy has brought up 3 different alien stories. I've been bombarded by Froggy's texts.
And you know me, I don't believe in prep or anything like that, but I sent you 3 amazing stories.
You did. And I'm getting texts from Froggy. It's happening.
That's all.
I told you. It's going down.
I did.
They're here.
They are.
Going down.
It's happening. It sure
going
is.
down. Meet me in the club. How come you didn't do that, MJ? You're the singer around here.
Oh,
I want to go to a club with aliens. How awesome would that be?
He's not familiar with songs that include the lyric "I'm going down."
I'm going to Club Alien.
Dude, they probably do go to our clubs.
Yeah, you know what?
What other songs do you know that have the lyric "I'm going down"? Rox?
None off the top of my head. That's the first one that popped into my head. Can you imagine aliens in bars trying to pick up girls? Like
what's your name? Meat Mop.
All right, can I finish the stories now?
No, I like this fantasy because like all the guys are gonna get so mad, like the guys with the cool cars. Like
You have an alien
Ferrari,
fantasy?
a Lamborghini, and the aliens like, I'm gonna take you on my spaceship, baby.
Give me lap dance.
Yeah, hey, welcome to the meat market. What can I get you to drink?
Alien juice.
All right, let me see if we have any meat bop.
All right,
I've not heard of that.
guys,
but
can
okay.
can I
Hey, Roxanne, do you have any meat
can I
bop?
burst Froggy's bubble again?
No, you're not going to burst it. I'm still going to believe.
All right, the 3 alien stories in just the last week. I'm about to introduce a 4th, which actually this was reported months ago, but the results are out. So alien story number 1
I'll be the
was
judge of that.
from New Year's Day, and the claim that there was a 10-foot alien walking around in front of a mall in Miami. And there was like an aerial shot, a high shot, and you could see all the police cars on the ground. And there was like this light moving back and forth. And that's what it was. It was like a reflection.
Yeah, they shapeshift into reflections and lights.
Dude, it was a light. And people were saying it's a giant 10-foot alien creature. The cops were called to a riotous disturbance with a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah, 100 cop cars responded to a fist fight.
Outside of a Miami mall on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, whatever. It was like late at night. I think it might have been early New Year's Day, just after New Year's Eve. And the cops responded en masse. Yes, it was not an alien in Miami. That's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, the Brazil hilltop figure is not an alien on the top of a hill. It's just a guy up there, and it's the way with the perspective. It was shot up.
Yeah.
It was shot into the sun.
Oh,
so
such a good explanation.
It was a shadow. It's not an alien on the hilltop in Brazil. Okay,
Yeah, sure. You know.
Then we have the jellyfish video that Froggy brought up, and it's this like jellyfish orb that appears to be floating over a U.S. military base in Iraq back in 2018.
What do you mean appears? It was.
The video is interesting, but listen, there's an explanation.
What?
It's not an alien octopus jellyfish from another universe that's hovering over our military base, all right?
What do you think it is then?
I don't know, but it's not an
look at
alien.
that.
It's not an alien craft, all right? I'm confident.
If you don't know, you don't know that.
That brings me to this, Froggy. And this goes back, I don't know, maybe 3-4 months. And the alleged alien corpses that were found in Peru.
Yes, I saw those.
Remember, well, you brought this up months ago.
Yeah, the little ones.
Guess what? The results are in, and the public statement has come out. From Lima, Peru, they're not aliens. Forensic experts in Peru said on Friday the 2 doll-like figures and an alleged 3-fingered hand that customs authorities in South America, in Peru, seized last year from a shipment heading to Mexico. And people were like, oh my God, they're alien corpses. The forensic experts with Peru's prosecutor's office said the objects were made with paper, glue, metal, and human and animal bones.
Of course they're going to say that. They don't want to cause crazy chaos.
The findings quash some people's belief that the figures come from an alien center or come from another planet, all of which is totally false, said forensic archaeologist Flavio Estrada.
Flavio. What does he know?
Any relation to Eric Estrada from Chips?
Yes.
Do you ever heard of 2 words here? Ready? Cover up. Of course they're going to cover it up.
All right, the conclusion is simple. The dolls are assembled with bones of animals from this planet with modern synthetic glues.
Well, like rubber cement?
Well, they were able to determine that the glues that were used were modern. They were not assembled during pre-Hispanic times. They are not extraterrestrials. They are not aliens. The prosecutor's office has not yet determined who owns the objects. Officials said Friday, we would only say that a Mexican citizen was the intended recipient of the objects before they were seized by customs back in October. Mexican journalist Jose Jaime Mozan and some Mexican lawmakers became the subject of international ridicule in September when he went before the country's Congress to present the boxes with supposed mummies of aliens found in Peru. These were man-made with modern glue.
You are such a rube,
It's like a paper mache with metal and glue and animal bones.
You'll believe anything.
And also some human bones as well. I wonder where those came from.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Froggy, we knock it off.
No, you believe anything. You believe all the cover-ups. You know what I find funny? I find funny that you will take calls on brides and did you have a nail in your head? All kinds of stuff.
Right.
But you never take calls on aliens and do you believe? And I believe it's because you're afraid.
I'm not afraid. I'll take calls right now.
No, you won't.
I guess I will.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
I dare you.
800-990-10. You dare me? I have no problem taking calls on aliens.
Because there are believers out there, and we know what's happening.
Right. 800-990-1047.
You won't do it.
Go on. I'm doing it right now.
No, you're not.
What are you talking? Yes, I am. I'm doing it right now. All right, go ahead. You tell the callers. Tell the callers what you want to talk about. You tell specifically what calls you're looking for. I'll even let you dictate and guide the phone screening process. Go on, Froggy.
I want everybody to call up who's a believer and tell MJ how dumb and stupid he is.
A believer of what?
Aliens, stupid. What are we talking about?
Just be specific.
And if you're not a believer, go screw. How about that?
All right, well, Froggy, would you like to give out the phone number?
1-800-990-1047. Let's tell this guy what's really going on, huh?
All right, so you said that.
Let's unite, believers.
You said I'm afraid. I'm not afraid.
Yeah, you are. You won't do it.
Dude, we're soliciting for calls right now. I'm letting you even guide the parameters of the calls we're looking for. What do you mean? Oh,
it's amazing that you just have no explanation for the jellyfish. You say it's a weird video. It's obviously a UFO craft. It turns black and white, clear. It goes into the ocean for 17 minutes. It comes out. What are you saying? That's fake? What are you saying?
Right, so you don't think I'm going to take phone calls? Phone calls are calling in.
You won't do it. You're a little baby.
Phones are getting screened right now. I got calls on hold. And you think what?
Come on, people.
You think suddenly I'm going to now extricate myself from oh, my God, the phones are broken. I can't put them on the air. How do you think
there's a lot more people that know what's going on, and
All
you live in your little stupid sheltered world.
Okay, folks.
Where you don't know you don't know what's going to happen.
Let's go to Froggy's alien phones right now. 800-990-1047.
So mad.
Do you believe? Froggy wants to know, are you a believer? Do you think they're here? They're on the planet right now.
You know the number one reason why people don't believe and don't see aliens and UFOs? They don't look up. People don't look up.
All right, let's go. 800. Froggy doesn't think I'm going to take phone calls on this.
That's a quote from Art Bell, by the way.
All right. 800-990-1047. All right, Froggy, look at this. I'm taking a call. I'm going to say hello. I'm going to say hello to Jill in Largo. Hello, Jill. Welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, MJ.
Oh, Jill, by any chance, are you the Jill that didn't get the grand on Friday?
Yes, I made you apologize to Froggy when he went outside.
Whoa. Hold. Jill. Are you the Jill that called it on Friday and did not win?
I am.
Hold on. You're the Jill?
Yes.
That didn't win the $1,000?
Actually, it's me. Yes, I'm Jill.
Jill, what hour did you call in?
The last hour.
Yeah, it sounds like
she said the wrong name.
Oh, my God.
I was the last caller, and I called you all week long. And I was caller 86 the hour before, and I was so mad.
Oh, my God, this is unbelievable. Jill, there's a guy that wants to give you... Jill, listen to me. Jill, there's a guy that wants to give you money.
Wow.
Jill, because didn't you mention that you had medical bills and you were in the hospital, right?
No, I fractured my shoulder.
Yeah, that's...
I'm cleaning. I fractured it, yes.
Yeah, there's a listener that wants to give you money.
Wow, but what about aliens?
All right.
She wants to get into
Screw the money.
Let's get back on topic.
All right, Jill. All right, back to the aliens. So, Jill, are you on board with Froggy?
Yes, I am.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you.
And could you elaborate a little more?
A little more info, please.
Yeah, why are you on board with Froggy?
There's just no way that there's not other life.
Oh, listen, I agree with that.
No, you don't.
Listen,
what are you talking about?
Listen to me. I've said this a million times. I absolutely believe that there's alien life out there with the billions and billions of stars, suns, with planets in those solar systems, billions and billions, and it's incomprehensible. Yes, there has to be other life out there. Do I think that aliens are on a hilltop in Brazil? Do I think aliens are floating a jellyfish craft over a U.S. military? No, I don't think they are here. I don't think we have aliens among us on the planet.
Please let Jill talk.
All right, Jill, go ahead.
So, yes, I do believe that there are, because there's other planets. There's flying that people can't explain, and there's just no way that there's not aliens.
MJ can't explain it. He's Mr. Believer and he's Mr. But they can't be here. Tell me this. Why can't they be here? MJ?
I said that there's no way that there's not other UFOs and everything when they can't explain the flying objects.
Good point. Very good point.
All right, I believe there's life out there. I just don't think we've got aliens on this planet. I don't think we're getting visited by like the Tic Tac craft that were seen by like U.S. Navy pilots off of San Diego years ago.
Thank you, Jill. Why wouldn't we?
Because I don't. If they were here, they'd make themselves known, either hostile or friendly. You know, why do we have to believe that, oh, they visited us, but they try to remain quiet, or they're living secretly among us? Listen, Jill, I believe there's alien life out there in the infinite confines of space. Yes, there's life out there. I just don't think they're on the planet. All right, Jill.
Thank you, Jill. You're brilliant. You put him in his place.
All right, Jill, hang on a minute. This is unbelievable that you called back. It's unbelievable that you got in on this, because there is a listener that's looking for you. Listen to this. So let me find the email.
Now you got it right after the show on Friday?
Yeah, I did. I got to find it.
It's meant to be. Like she called.
I can send you an email if you want, NJ.
Yeah. So
right now I'm cleaning Niagara Tap. So when I get done cleaning, I'll send you an email.
Hold on, you're cleaning what?
Niagara Tap. I'm a regular caller.
Yeah, but what the hell is Niagara Taps?
It's a bar in Largo.
Oh, yeah.
You're cleaning a bar.
You're talking about faucets.
Sorry.
So when I get done cleaning, I'll send you an email, okay?
Yeah, because I got a guy that emailed me. He felt so bad. And, folks, if you don't know the story, this is Jill from Friday. Jill was the 105th caller. This is the last hour on Friday. This was the last of the $20,000, $1,000 a pop that we were giving away. Friday at like 9:40, I go to caller 105. It's Jill, and I'm like, Jill, you're caller 105 to win the $1,000. Who won last hour? And Jill did not know the 8 o'clock winner, so we had to move on to caller 106, who then subsequently knew the name and won the grand. But you talked about having shoulder surgery, and a listener heard this and felt so badly for you that he said he wanted to give you like $500.
Whoa.
That would really help me pay my rent.
Oh, wow. All right, Jill, I'll tell you, send me an email, Jill.
I will, as soon as I get done cleaning, MJ.
All right, and hold on.
Love you guys.
Hold on, Jill, just to verify, I'm going to put you on hold. Give Andrew your contact information right now, okay?
Okay.
I'll hook you up with the listener. All right. Jill is on one, Andrew. Can you grab, please, all her information? Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, but no money from us.
All right, let's go back to the alien lines. Manny is in Tarpon Springs. Manny, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning.
Yes, Manny, go ahead.
Yep, I believe absolutely 100%. There's a lot of things you got to look at.
Manny, do me a favor. Pick up the regular phone. You kind of have the distant speakerphone sound.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, thank you.
Take me to your leader. No.
Got a comedian here.
Actually, do believe, go back to the pyramids and before, and where the technology came, that was the beginning of it.
But they know how the pyramids were built.
Yeah, aliens.
Yeah.
They were not built.
Okay, okay, let's even go further down to the philosophers, Pythagoras. Where did he get all this information? Or Socrates, where did they get all
how the hell did he come up with the Pythagorean theorem?
Aliens.
Yeah.
Aliens did the whole A squared plus B squared equals C squared?
Correct. And at the same time, Earth is in space. We are technically aliens. We are extraterrestrials. We are going to space.
Yes, we are.
So why not anyone coming here?
See these points that people are making.
Manny,
you can't debunk them.
Manny, do you believe there are aliens among us on the planet right now?
Yes.
Thank you, Manny. You're a brilliant man.
Absolutely. How do you know I'm not an alien?
Good
You
point.
don't know.
We don't know.
Right.
Exactly.
I've thought MJ was one for years.
Manny, thanks for the call.
Just the head size alone, right?
Nanu.
50-year-old reference.
All right. Travis is in Tarpon Springs. Travis, you're on the Froggy alien phones. Hello.
Hey, I've been listening to you guys since I was a kid. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Awesome, Travis. Go ahead.
All right, so you got to think about it this way, too, is if we found us, as our humans on Earth, found aliens on another planet, wouldn't we just sort of observe them from a distance, treat it more like a zoo, and we would check them out, try to learn about them, so we could bring it back to Earth and recreate or do whatever we do? So isn't it logical to think that if there is other advanced species like us, that they're watching us from a distance?
So in the movies and in science fiction, in books and science fiction stories, and of course the movies, as I mentioned, the aliens are typically aggressive and they want to blow us up with their ray guns. Right. You know, what was the Mars thing? Attack from Mars or whatever.
Remember Independence Day?
Yeah, Mars Attacks, and I never saw that whole movie. I've only seen like bits and pieces.
Yeah. You knew what it was about.
Yeah, but I know what it's about.
But to your point, maybe aliens are kinder.
That's what they want to do. They want to freak us out. That's the movies, though. In real life, they're probably just watching us from a distance.
Yes.
That's what I think. Anyway.
Exactly. Hey, Travis, thanks for the call. Thanks for the years of listening. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. All right, guys.
Man, finally a show with some good callers.
Let me grab. James is in Newport Richie. James, you're on the Froggy alien phones. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, good morning, MJ. Froggy, you're out of your mind. If they were here, we would know it. I mean, other than Joe Biden, they're not here. Joe Biden came one time, and that's it. I mean, come on. There are no aliens here. The only aliens are probably the ones living in maybe Tarpon Springs, but they've been here too long. They're not here.
You sound like an alien, sir. Number two, you're an idiot.
Called worse today.
Don't call him an idiot.
Yeah, he is. He's just calling, making bad jokes.
Don't call on listener an idiot, Froggy.
All right, he's a dummy. What are we doing?
It's okay. It's okay. When you don't have facts, that's what you do.
Thanks, James.
Have another Paul Mall, James.
A name caller. Bash is in Odessa. Bash, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
MJ, do you care about this UAP at all?
Do I care about the UAP?
Do you care what it is? I mean, we're talking about it being alien, right? But what if it's a TikTok drone from China?
Good point.
I think it's more likely a TikTok drone from China than an alien craft. Are you talking about the jellyfish one that the video has recently come out?
But in all seriousness, I think it is really interesting because one thing that people are saying, it could be a Mylar balloon that's kind of just floating out there.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about it is that it was only picked up in infrared. You know, one thing that kind of creeps me out about the whole thing is if it's an infrared, you know, there's certain colors and certain things that, you know, humans can't see. So what if these aliens are among us and we can't even see them because we can't see their colors, we don't have infrared light, we can't see certain things.
Well,
that's what's happening.
But look, with alien life, whatever's out there, and yes, I believe there's stuff out there. It's incomprehensible that with billions and billions of stars and planets that are out there in distances so far away that we can't even fathom, we can't even grasp the measurement of how big space is. Of course, it goes without thinking that there's alien life out there. I just don't think that they visited us. I don't think they're among us. And I just don't think that they're here or they have been here. I think they're out there. They just haven't been there. Thanks for the call, Bash. Let me grab Anonymous.
It's going to be good.
Anonymous from somewhere in Florida. Hello, Anonymous. You're on the MJ Morning Show and the Froggy alien phones. Are you there, Anonymous? Come in. Yeah, Anonymous, go ahead.
All right, me and my wife was in Miami when those things came out. We were eating. And it looked, I don't know, it looked like something opened up, like literally. And at first there was whatever was going on, like a ruckus. So you look one way. And then when you look the other way, it's like in the middle, it literally looked almost like a dome with light. And these three things came out and it was like, man, it was like,
wow, this guy was there.
Wow.
All right, Froggy, it's Anonymous from Florida.
Sir, I mean, you were there?
Yeah, I kid you not. Me and my wife, listen. So they're like, they wasn't solid. They was like phasing. it was, man, it was like it's like you watch alien stuff, but when you see it, it's like they're real. Like, this is great. Like, so man. So everybody's running and people actually like shooting at them. You hear shots, like people are like shooting at these things, but they're like not fake.
Hey, Anonymous, what was the name of the mall in Miami where you claimed to have seen the aliens? What's the name of the place?
Hold on. If I may, I'm not claiming anything.
No, you're claiming you were there. What was the name of the mall?
No, hold on. If I can just finish, please.
Well, hold on. I just.
Well, you let him finish. What are you doing?
First, tell me the name of the. Hold on.
God.
Tell me the name of the mall where you were.
But hold on. Here's the thing. I'm not from Miami. I don't know. We just went to a mall. It was literally not being from there. I'm originally from Staten Island, New York. We went here to the mall. It was literally like you go to New York Mall. It wasn't like we're going to this. It was just a mall.
Yeah, he's calling us from Tampa. Mm-hmm.
Good point, sir.
All right, where in Miami was the mall?
Listen, if I may finish, if you want to break this down, I get it. But if I can at least finish the story, and then you can break it down.
I think you're avoiding simple things like the name of the mall and the location.
I think
finish the story.
Yeah, someone's trying to tell a story, and you keep peppering with questions that are
I'm
unrelated.
from there, and I'm seeing something coming out, and you're talking about where it was. That's like, respectfully, at least let me tell the story, and then you can say you're not going to believe it regardless, because I don't believe it, and I've seen it. I seen these things come out of a freaking.
All right. So what did the things? And where were you? Where were you at this mall in Miami on New Year's Day?
Food court area. Again, I don't know what the freaking thing. I don't know what you just said. So I'm not gonna. I don't want you to go. Oh, you just agreed to something. I don't know what you.
So the aliens were where? They were at the Chinese wok place where they hand out the free chicken samples on the.
Let him talk, man.
On the toothpicks.
Like, at least let me speak and then have the questions, please. Because
it's
interjections.
He messes up story flow.
I mean, yeah, he does. I mean, again, I'm telling you something serious. Like, listen, whether you want to believe it or not, that's not here. I don't even care about that. My point is, when you see three giant things coming out and they're not solid, they're phasing, and then, man, people are running. And, like, the way the cops herded everyone when you ran out, they had everybody almost going to the right. Me and my wife grabbed the hand. We went to the left. And for instance, it was taking people's phones or whatever. The airport was shut down. But like I said, that's just as much as I want to go into. That's it. I don't know. But again, I don't want nothing from this. I'm not doing none of that. Whatever the news story was, it's not that. Those things were real. They were phasing in and out. I don't know how tall they were, but I've literally seen Shaquille O'Neal, and they dwarfed him.
Okay, so there we go.
12, 11, 10.
There you go.
All right, so you were in the food court? Are you claiming the aliens were inside the food court or outside? Oh, he hung up.
Yeah.
Because you just kept peppering him.
Guys,
I'll take your apology right now.
He's full of crap. He's calling up to provide content.
Okay. Maybe that is really what he thinks that he saw and
freaked
believes
out.
that he saw. And you just take the wind out of his sails when he's trying to tell a story like you always do.
Chop that up and send it to TMZ, Andrew, right now.
He's pulling your chain, guys.
Yeah, he sounded like a real liar. He sounded like he was telling the truth 100%.
Froggy and Roxanne, how gullible are you?
Okay.
Fester,
I know that there were whatever the news told us about that Miami incident is false. I don't know
How do you know that?
Because are you just a rube?
He sounded so authentic. You are a rube. You believe everything, dude. You believe all the fake news.
We got more people calling in.
All right, Fester, I see that. Froggy's going to love the next call. Mark in Clearwater, hang on. First, though, Fester.
Yes.
Do you believe there were aliens running around in Miami at this mall?
If they were.
You believe that caller anonymous we just had was real?
Of course you're going to agree with MJ.
Listen, if there were aliens at the mall, the footage that they released of the light on the side of the building wasn't proof.
You know what? You're incapable of having your own thought for one. You're incapable.
I think you're a schmuck.
The reports were the 10-foot aliens were caught on camera, fired at inside and outside the Miami Mall.
MJ, can I kick his ass in front of his daughter?
Media silent. Cops are covering it up, saying it was kids fighting with fireworks.
Yeah, cover up is right.
People are feeding this gossip machine. People are saying that black helicopters arrived, black military choppers.
Yes.
Guys, this is not true.
Okay, we have a couple other callers, but I have a story for you that's going to explain some of it.
Okay, well, you hold on. I want to grab Mark in Clearwater. Oh, Froggy, get ready for this. Mark, you claim you were abducted by aliens?
Yeah, hey, MJ, I also have proof of it on my thigh. I have a perfect circle scar from where they removed skin. One morning I woke up and there was a hole in my thigh, and it never healed correctly. And if you need proof, I can come down to the station and take my pants down for you.
Blur, please do, sir. Please do.
But a regular burn mark cannot create a perfect circle. And I was younger, so I was not doing drugs or smoking.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it was like a meth.
You waited until you were older for that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you have to, you know. You got to get through high school at least and then go crazy.
So what happened?
Where on your thigh?
Now, where were you? Where did you live when you were abducted from your bed in the middle of the night?
All right, so this is going to sound crazy, but I was in a crazy hospital.
Wait.
They got through security. They came through my window. And like the guy was saying in Miami, I think just like Santa Claus, they can come in and out anywhere. Maybe go down chimneys. Who knows?
All right, so you were you were in a psychiatric ward? Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, you know, it's a long story.
Where was this, and how old were you?
It was in Hartford, Connecticut, a place called the Institute of Living.
And how old were you when you claimed that you were abducted by aliens from the psych ward?
I was about 12.
See, if I were an alien, I would head straight to the Institute of Living to find subjects to study. It sounds like, you know, this is the place where people are living. Let's study them here.
Fester,
Send us a picture of your thigh.
Hang on a minute. Fester,
Yes.
Can you please Google the Institute of Living in Hartford, Connecticut?
I would love
All right, so Mark, can you send us a picture of your thigh circle?
Oh, yeah, I can. Yeah, I tell it all the time at parties because it's weird. You know,
Do you pull your pants down at parties?
No, I don't pull my pants down. I get the picture ready. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, I'll tell you what. I want you to email us a picture. When you get a chance, send a picture of your thigh with the alien circle mark. Send it to mj@mjmorningshow.com, okay?
Sounds good. Do you want me to pose? Is there a certain position you want me to
just do a full shot so we can see who you are. And if you can get a full shot that shows the circle on your leg, so head to toe, full shot, so we can see your face. And then go ahead and send a close-up of the so-called thigh circle. And email the pictures, email the photos to mj@mjmorningshow.com, okay?
And Mark, how is your mental health now? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Not on any meds. I'm getting married in March.
Why were you in the psych ward at 12 years old?
My parents split up and I didn't know how to deal with it.
Happens.
Man, he sounds authentic.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the Institute for Living.
Will you believe in aliens if this circle is perfect?
I want to see it.
I don't. I mean, I could think of a way to get a perfect circle mark. Just use a metal dowel, you know.
No, you can't. It would be branded. It wouldn't be perfect.
All right. Send the photos, Mark, okay?
Now.
Sounds good, MJ. Have a good day.
All right, bye-bye.
Do you think there's a punchline to Mark's photo? Is it like my tattoo joke where I have a mouse on my thigh?
I don't think so. I mean,
we had a guy abducted and a guy that saw the other aliens. This segment is proving you wrong, bro.
Center for Living.
Oh, yeah. I am. By the way, Fester just found the Center Institute for Living.
They say that they're a crazy hospital without saying they're a crazy hospital.
That's a real place, man. Look at that.
It says, let me read the Google description. The Institute of Living is a comprehensive psychiatric facility in Hartford, Connecticut that offers care across the spectrum of psychiatric services, including crisis evaluation, inpatient psychiatric care, group homes, specialized education programs, outpatient programs, and addiction recovery services.
I mean, the name says it all. If I'm an alien and I'm talking to my alien friends and I'm like, where are we going to find humans to study? I'm saying Institute of Living. They're living there. You know, that makes perfect sense.
Plus, they are all crazy.
All right, one more call on the Froggy alien phones. Man, this segment's gone off the rails. I
love it.
Alyssa is in St. Pete. Final call. I got to move on. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Alyssa.
Hi there. How are y'all?
Doing well. Go ahead.
Okay, it's the Miami thing. If you reverse the GPS coordinates, it would put you in Antarctica.
What?
I say it again, Alyssa?
Okay, that's deep.
If you reverse the GPS coordinates for them all, it would put you in Antarctica.
And you know that there's Antarctica is known for having hidden alien bases way deep in the Antarctic.
So did they come up through the surface of the earth?
All right.
Snow.
Thank you,
No,
Alyssa.
I believe they just went to the wrong place.
Oh, their GPS.
So you
messed
think
them up.
the aliens sort of like the GPS messes you up, like Michael and Dwight driving down the boat ramp,
drove into the lake,
into the lake in The Office.
Yeah, like one of them's dyslexic or something.
All right.
I am dyslexic.
Thanks, Alyssa.
Are you sure these coordinates are right?
I do not
guys,
believe
those
you.
Can I share a story that's going to kind of explain
Yes,
people's mindset?
but all those callers are putting us. They're playing along with us.
No, but what are you?
Yes, Roxanne, go ahead.
Okay, so there's this place in, I don't know if it's Buffalo or Canada, it doesn't matter. It snows a lot, the weather's terrible, and planes landing at that particular airport always consistently end up crashing onto the highway, the road. They miss the landing strip. And then Mack trucks come barreling along and slam right into those planes. And every time someone survives that crash in the truck, they ask the driver, why didn't you stop? Didn't you see the big plane on the highway? And they never saw it because sometimes our brain doesn't allow us to see things that don't make sense.
True.
So there are some of us out there who maybe see aliens because maybe our...
Or what about the aliens using the invisible cloak?
Well, that
Yes.
too. So then that's why we only hear stories from Mark when they come up and basically slap you in the face and put a circle on your leg or a probe up your butt.
How many times have a semi-truck collided with a plane in upper New York or Canada?
Why don't you look it up?
I don't know. I'm asking.
The off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now that back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Don't listen to her.
Bye.
She's crazy.
I am real. I am real.
Fester, read the book, What the Bleep Do We Know? Down the Rabbit Hole, and you'll read that anecdote about the planes.
I'm not going to read a whole book. I mean, can't you give me the Cliff Notes?
You just did.
Okay. I think that'd be on the news. I'm Lester Dolt. A plane got hit by a semi-truck in Buffalo, says to Roxanne.
Are the Swifties going to go after Tony Dungy now?
Hey, Tony Dungy. Oh, Tony Dungy. My bad.
Not Tony Danza.
I thought you were going to talk about Tony Danza.
I'm talking about.
Sorry. Tony Dungy, a good guy.
Go back under the desk, Tony.
Sorry,
Danza.
I'm going to go back under the desk now. See you later.
Former Buccaneers head coach Tony Dungy, now NFL TV analyst. Who does he work for NBC?
Yeah, he is on NBC's
Okay.
Sunday Night Football show, all the big games. He was
How
at.
old is he?
He's at the game. He's not that old.
Tony
really?
Dungy's not that. Still lives in town. Tony Dungy's a nice guy. I used to see him. His daughter and Chloe's daughter had the same.
Chloe doesn't have a
ballet class.
His daughter and your daughter.
Yeah, they went to the same ballet lady. Like there was like some serious ballet lady on Beta Bay.
You mean they went to the same dance instructor at
Yeah.
the same dance school?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Not a ballet lady, but okay, go ahead.
Okay, fine.
ballet lady.
All right, so a ballet lady. I mean, that's the
It
same
sounds
thing
dismissive.
as a
No,
anyway.
I'm a dancer, so I
All
take
right.
offense to that.
You're a dancer?
Well,
So
yeah,
am I.
was.
Which one? Deja Vu? Penthouse? Mons?
So
2001?
Coach
Oh,
Dungy.
The Dollhouse? Where are you a dancer?
Growing up, I was a dancer. You know that. I was
Like
a ballerina.
underage, you were a dancer?
I was a ballerina. So when
Did you
you're
have fake
some,
ID?
Trafficked.
some ballet lady.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Coach Dungy is 68 years old,
Right.
and he was at the Kansas City game. I don't know. I didn't see it because I don't have Peacock.
So Kansas, we have Peacock,
Oh.
and I didn't know we had it. And Michelle's like, "No, we got Peacock." I'm like, "We don't have Peacock." So we call up Julian, and Julian's on the phone from up in New York, and Michelle, my lovely wife, is like, "Julian, tell Dad we have Peacock." And Julian says,
Oh yeah.
"We have Peacock." And then I say to Julian, "Who is paying for this?" And he said, "You."
Yeah, you don't know.
I didn't even know.
Who else would be?
We've got Peacock. So Michelle and I were able to watch the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs game where Wilford Brimley, the head coach of the Chiefs, Did you see he had icicles on his mustache?
It was frozen solid.
He had icicles coming off his walrus-faced mustache.
Screw that.
Right. But Tony Dungy, let me get back on track here. The beloved Tony Dungy. Is Tony Dungy going to get beaten down now? Is Tony Dungy going to be the target of these Taylor Swifties because of what did you hear what Tony Dungy said?
What? She's a distraction?
And then I got to talk about the aliens I found in my closet over the weekend. I'm pissed off about this. You know, they say there's two kinds of houses in Florida, man. Hang on. I'll get to that in a second. First, though, Tony Dungy says that Taylor Swift is a distraction. Absolutely. Tony Dungy speaks the truth. So, Tony Dungy, is he now going to be the target of these crazed Taylor Swift fans? Is he going to be on like a Taylor Swiftie hit list now?
I think we'll always have sports in some form or fashion. Some people are disenchanted with it.
What do you make of the Taylor Swift effect here?
That's the thing that's disenchanting people with sports now. There's so much on the outside that coming in, entertainment value and different things, as taking away from what really happens on the field.
Jesus, what are they doing? A workout? What's with the music?
Yeah, I agree.
Jane found the workout in the background. So listen, Tony Dungy's 100% right.
How is she a distraction, though, really? To the players on the field?
Dude, I was in Kansas City in mid-October. I had to fly to Topeka, Kansas for the day to shoot some videos with the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors, and they had a car service pick me up at Kansas City International and take me back. I asked both of the drivers, two guys. One guy was, I think he was about 60. The other driver was in his mid-40s or so, both men. And I said, hey, tell me about the perception around Kansas City of Travis Kelce and this whole Taylor Swift deal, her showing up at the games, and they're showing her in the skybox all the time during the game. Both of the drivers said, oh, man, wish she'd go away, total distraction. And here's Tony Dungy also talking about how Taylor Swift is taking the attention off the field. She's just a distraction. She's kind of mudding things up.
But what?
All right, so MJ, were the Atlanta Falcons distracted when MC Hammer was on the sidelines?
Listen, let me tell you right now.
It's not like she's running out in the middle of the field during the game.
Kansas City fans are blaming Taylor Swift for the fact that the Chiefs kind of collapsed toward the end of the season.
But how could that be possible?
Because I'm telling you, because you got Travis Kelce and the team, they're worried about Taylor Swift at the game up in the skybox.
I don't think they are.
I'm telling you, she's an unneeded distraction to the team. And Tony Dungy said as much.
That's the thing that's disenchanting people with sports now. There's so much on the outside that coming in, entertainment value and different things, as taking away from what really happens on the field.
Yeah, Taylor Swift is not happening on the field. It's just distracting. I'm telling you.
Okay, so
real quick, Tony needs to beef up security because these Taylor Swift fans are nuts. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Roxanne.
I think people take things too seriously. Who cares? They're dating, whatever. It's fun. It's entertainment. But I think you're right, and Tony's right in that it turns into a circus. All the media in there covering the team, they're probably all like asking other players, "What do you think about Taylor?" It just turns into this big thing, and it takes attention away from what the overall goal is. So I kind of agree with both of you guys.
Seems like she's very, very, very annoying. Like when they show her up there and what she's doing and like dancing, she sounds awful.
So this was the test of their love. If Taylor went to this game,
right,
where it was negative, 10 degrees?
Yeah.
Bitter cold.
She was in a skybox. She's not in the stands with the plebes. She's not in the stands with the common people. She was up in a skybox, for crying out loud.
This was the test of her
Okay, whatever. All right. And then what about the New York Post last week claiming that sources are saying that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are going to get engaged this summer?
Love
you believe
grand.
that?
I hope. Right. I hope for it.
Let's talk about the aliens in my closet. It might as well be. I mean, I'm so ticked off. I mean, listen, it's common. It happens all the time. I've had to have this done before. I'll have it done again, I'm sure. I got to figure out whether I got to do the whole dealio or I can just do the little spot thing. All right, let me tell you what happened. Some people might be figuring out exactly where I'm going with this, but just an odd place. Just strange.
What happened?
So I walk into my closet in our master bedroom. We got a little master bedroom suite, and we've got a walk-in closet. And, Michelle's side, my side, we've got, wooden. We've got black American walnut floors in the master bedroom that goes into the walk-in closet. I walk into the closet because we're going out to get some dinner. So Michelle and I, we really weren't going to do anything. Saturday night, we were just going to chill out and, we binge watch something. I'll get to that in a minute. Because we have Apple TV for like 3 months because of the kids' new iPhones.
Right.
So we're just binge watching as much we can for free. So we binge watched a show over the weekend, 7 hours. I'll explain in just a minute. So we weren't going to go out. We were just going to, hang in. And I'm like, you know what? Let's go out. Just a quickie. We'll do an early dinner. So Michelle and I did a 5:30 dinner on Saturday. And we decided to go visit our good friend, Paolo Tini, who owns Cafe Paradiso for 30 years now on South MacDill. Just an excellent Italian restaurant. There's a lot of good restaurants in town. There's tons of good Italian, and I talk about all of them virtually on the show. But we went to visit our friend Paolo on Saturday at the Cafe Paradiso, just south of Euclid on MacDill. Love it. And I'm getting ready. We weren't going to go out, so I took a quick shower, walk into the closet to go get some fresh underwear, grab nice pair of pants, grab a nice button-down shirt. And as I'm walking into the closet, I'm like, son of a bitch. And the minute I saw it, I knew exactly what it was. Oh, God. I mean, but out of nowhere. I was the day before, nothing. The next day, the floor had a good pile of this stuff. You know what I'm talking about, Froggy?
Duty?
No. Well, no. Yes. Technically, I guess you're right.
Dog duty?
No.
No, it's not the dogs, right?
No.
You duty in the closet?
No, I didn't duty in the closet. Stop.
What happened?
On the American walnut floor?
But technically,
I don't understand.
Technically, it is, excrement.
Oh, from your toilet.
No. All right, Roxanne, do you have any idea what I'm about to talk about?
I'm roach poop.
You're getting closer.
Mice?
Yup.
Rat?
No.
Ants?
Andrew just said it in my ear. Andrew, say it on the air. Go ahead.
Termite?
Yep.
Ew.
Son of a... Yes, dry woods. But in my closet, I mean, one day, nothing there. The next day, I've got the little termite, they're little pellets. They're tiny little, like ovally kind of shaped pellets. They're tiny. And there's a nice pile of them on the floor. And the minute I saw them, I'm like, son of a... And I immediately tried to figure out where they're coming from. And guess what? I was successful. I found out where they are. So, I mean, it's amazing. From one day, nothing. The next day, you got a bunch of junk on the floor. And I've got some drywoods. And, my house is all concrete and steel. Of course, there's wood inside, our features. And we've got, wood crown molding. And, there's plenty of wood inside the house. But my whole house is concrete and steel. My second floor is even a 4-inch poured deck of concrete like an office building. So I don't know how long they could have been in there. Did they come in from the attic and then burrow? Who knows? But here's the deal. I've got a walk-in closet, and there is like some lower doors, and then there are upper cabinets, and there's like a wood strip that separates the piece, and it's right in the middle. So I determined, the minute I saw this, I'm like, oh man, where are they? And I start narrowing down. I start looking right underneath on the floor, the overhang from the cabinet. Was it there? No. And then I start looking around, and I look straight up. So if the stuff is falling straight down, let me just go in that exact line. Let me look underneath, and I couldn't see anything. So I look up, and I had to get on a stepladder because it's about 6.5 or 7 feet up. And I found them. I found it's called a kick-out hole. So it's the hole as the termites are eating the wood and ingesting and digesting the cellulose in the wood. They poop out these little pellets. and it's a kick-out hole to get rid of their colony from being all filled up with the termite poop. They have these little holes that they kick out. So I found the hole, and I rigged up a piece of paper with some blue painter's tape, so I have a net. So I'm catching the actual stuff as it comes out of the. I looked at it. I can see them kicking them out.
So you're a turd catcher now?
Yeah, I'm a turd catcher. So you can't see the termites. You can't see the termites because they're inside, but I can see the pellets actually every minute or two or 3 or 5. You can see the pellet being dropped out of the hole, and I'm catching them all. So can I spot treat this? So you know what this comes down to? Who the hell out there wants to tent MJ's house?
Oh, God.
So
do you have to get the whole house tented?
Yeah, well, I need to. We had our house tented in 2015. And listen, so it's almost not, it's 9 years. It's exactly 9 years since we had our house last tented.
What does the guy say? Well, this has a 9-year guarantee.
Well, here's the deal. You know what they say about Florida houses? There are 2 types of Florida houses. Houses that have or had termites, or houses that are going to get them. So everyone, listeners are listening right now where they do have termites in the house. They don't know it yet. All right, so Andrew's telling me I got a termite guy on line 2. So I got to deal with this now. So most likely I'm going to have to go for a tent. But this is in the middle of the house. The middle of the house, in my closet, and we went through the whole house. There are no other kick-out holes with termite powder. I have no wings. I haven't found any bodies, any wings, nothing. And how long were they in there? So I got a termite guy on hold here, and I know, listen, we got pest control companies that listen, and there are a ton of companies that tent houses. I got to figure out now whether I can spot treat and drill and put in the different kinds of spot treatments, or I got to tent the whole house. Because tenting the house, that's 100%. That will kill every freaking thing that is alive. Every cockroach, every termite, whatever, every ant will be killed dead if I tent the place and pump that sucker full of Vicane. Let me grab Termite Man on 2. Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who's this?
My name's Carl. How are you, MJ?
Hey, Carl, are you a pest control guy?
17 years.
What, a company that I'd recognize?
We're local, 42 years. Chet's Termite Pest Management.
Oh, yeah, Chet's. I've seen you guys. So you guys tent houses?
Yes, sir, we do.
Oh, man, you want to... All right, so you just heard my whole story, right?
I heard your whole story, and I just want to chime in and just make sure of one thing. Don't let anybody spot treat.
I've heard. Listen, the spot treaters tell you spot treat. The tent guys. I do know for a fact that the only way to 100% get rid of termites is to tent. I know that.
100% correct.
Was it Vicane? Is that the gas?
That is correct. Vicane, sulfuric chloride.
Yeah. All right. Is Chet a real guy?
Very much so.
Is Chet going to give me a good deal to tent my house?
We'll give you a better deal than a national company would, that's for sure. Plus, we give you a money-back guarantee. We don't kill them all. We give you back every penny and do it for free.
Nice.
How do you know I won't go find some termites and put them in my house?
Are your guys safe walking on clay tile barrel roofs? Because I don't want any more busted up tiles up there.
Well, if anybody, how long has that roof been on your house, MJ?
18 years.
Okay, so think about this in theory. Anybody tells you they're going to walk on that roof and don't break anything is full-face lying to you.
Yeah.
Those things sit up there and bake and bake.
Yeah.
So, yes, you always will have breakage on a barrel tile roof. Always.
All right, but do you have guys that could be careful?
Oh, yeah, of course, sir. You put the small guys on the roofs and you know where to walk in the low parts.
I need to put midgets on my roof.
Yeah, do you have any dwarfs working for you?
I hear you.
Throw MJ up there.
All right, now I got to get a couple of quotes here, but of course I've heard of Chet's. I've seen you guys in the neighborhood. I know that you guys have tented. And am I right that there are 2 types of houses in Florida? Houses that have or had termites and houses that will get them. Is that correct?
A matter of time, yeah. Really, the only place you want to try to get away from ever getting a driveway termite is get away from all your hardwood trees, all your oaks, your cherries.
Yeah.
They all house drywoods. Go to the beach where there isn't any.
Yeah, no, I hear you. All right. Yeah. So what do you, if you tent my house, we had it done in early 2015. So it's been It's been 9 years exactly since we were last tented. Is that uncommon to have them come back in 9 years?
No. We have a lot of customers, especially in South Tampa, Seminole Heights.
Yep.
They go anywhere from 7 to 10 years. It just depends.
All right. So is Chet going to come out himself to my house?
No, that he will not.
Why not?
He's kind of retired. He's a little on the old side now.
We want Chet.
I mean, it's 40 years he's been doing this. How old's Chet? 80?
Chet's 69.
Oh, he could go
That's
there.
a spring freaking chicken. You made him sound like he's in a nursing home.
Yeah, we're not going to throw his ass on the roof.
From toting tarps, his body's beat up.
Come on, Chet.
That anymore.
He's a hard 69.
All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna put you on hold. Of course, I've heard of Chet's, and I know that you guys have been around for a while. And you won't skimp on my Vicane. You'll pump me up good,
Buddy, we give a money back guarantee. We overshoot them.
That's what I want to hear. All right. So I'm gonna get a couple. I'm gonna get a couple of quotes. So how did they get in the middle of my freaking closet in the middle of the house?
Well, is yours a 2-story or 1-story?
It's 2-story.
The only way, if you think, how old are the cabinets?
The cabinets are 18 years old when we built the house.
So, yeah, you got to think about it. Middle of the house, come down from the attic somehow through the walls. It's the only way to get into the middle unless you induce that termite in the house by, like a recent remodel by bringing in cabinets. But
yeah,
for them to be in the middle, they've had to come from within your home. That's the only way.
That's what I'm thinking. So I need to get up in the attic and see if I've got any, little termite droppings up in the joists and everything too, right?
Well, yeah, that's where it usually starts 9 times out of 10.
All right. Well, hang on a minute.
I'm learning so much.
I'm going to put you on hold, and Andrew will get your information, but I'm going to obviously need to get a couple of quotes. And listen, there's going to be value to whoever tents MJ's house, so you know?
Yes. Well, I'll be happy to give you an estimate, MJ.
All right. Well, hold on a minute. Andrew's going to get your phone number and your name and all that stuff. Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
All right, hang on a minute. Andrew, he's on 2. All right. So, hey, listen, any other termite guys out there, I'm going to have to tent the house. And it's just something that gets done. Just something that South Tampa is susceptible.
Where are we going to find all this fabric to tent your house? That castle.
Dude, come on. They tent office buildings for crying out loud. Yes.
Then you'll be fine.
I mean, not like 30-story buildings in downtown Tampa, but they tent like 3-4-story buildings. I've seen that.
Well, then you'll be good.
If there are any other termite guys out there, I'm gonna need a tent. Most likely. All right. So if you're a termite guy and you'd like to introduce yourself, and send me an email. MJ at MJ. I'm just pissed off. Because you got to clean out all the food and stuff, and I can't remember about all my wine, whether I have to take that off site. You got to bag stuff, and I think we got to leave the house for 2 days or something. And so if there are any other termite guys out there, if you work for a termite company, you do the tenting, you've got good reviews, you're reputable, you don't have 150,000 complaints about you at the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah, right.
Which they're kind of a sham anyway, but you know what I'm talking about. If you're a termite, folks, and you want to tent MJ's house, send me an email, MJ at mjmorningshow.com. That's MJ at mjmorningshow.com. And again, nowhere else in the house. No wings, no bodies, nothing. Just these little termite poop pellets in the middle of my freaking closet at a one little freaking kick-out hole. All right, so if anyone out there wants to have a conversation and you're in the termite and pest control business and you tent, go ahead and send me an email, MJ at mjmorningshow.com. Just that pain in the ass. Really, just... All right, 8:49 now at the MJ Morning Show. Man, we got a lot of stuff to do. We're going to have a solid hour to go as we're live today on this 15th of January. Remember, this is the National Observation Day for Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, so a lot of things are closed today. You know what I did yesterday, man? I love it. I went up to Veterans Ford yesterday, and I picked up the Bronco to drive. So they put me in a brand new Ford Bronco. Man, it's almost like I just heard him do that song live just a couple of weeks back. Oh, I did. In downtown Tampa. MJ Morning Show, of course, Cool and the Gang. And Michelle and I and Chloe, we were invited by the Tampa edition, the first 5-star hotel in Tampa Bay to attend their Kool and the Gang New Year's Eve celebration. And, of course,
Man, that would have been cool.
Yeah, it was. And, the founder, still in the group, is Kool himself, Robert, Robert Kool Bell. And he's the bass player, and he's been the constant in the band, and he's still there. So, again, we had a great time because Kool and the Gang performed this small show at their private New Year's Eve party at the Edition, and it was just fantastic. So thanks again for that invite. We really appreciate the comp. 9 o'clock exactly at the MJ Morning Show, and, man, my email is flooded. A lot of folks want to tent my house.
Yeah.
So
I got like 18 different text messages
Yeah.
from different termite and pest people.
Yep.
The person that did Froggy's rodent problem sent me messages.
Oh, yes, they did a good job.
Oh, no, I got that as well.
A couple
Yeah,
of
that's
them.
one of the emails. I couldn't get through all of them. I looked at like 3 or 4 emails, but there's another like 7 or 8.
I recommend him.
Well, let me tell you right now that this could be a part of the mystery solved. Julian just texted me. Julian, if you're listening, I'm going to call you live, although he listens on streaming, so I think it takes like a minute for the 813.
No, streaming is a 15-second delay.
I thought it was more than that.
On Alexa, when you say something here,
Yeah.
by the time I walk to the office, I hear it.
I heard it was...
Good morning.
Julian. All right, Froggy, what wise-ass crack were you going to make?
I heard it was 7 seconds. That's
Okay,
better.
whatever. Hey,
Wise.
Julian, my son, live from up at school at NYU. So folks are saying, well, wait, why is Julian up at school? It's still winter break for most colleges. Well, because
getting those credits done.
Yeah, Julian is doing a J-term, man. Julian is doing like an intensive 3.5-week course and getting 4 freaking credits, man.
Wow.
Instead of sitting home and getting, drunk, during the winter break.
And all fat and sassy.
Exactly.
I'm doing work.
What a judger.
Throwing down credits, man. Julian is getting 4.
Hold on.
Yeah.
That, and it's kind of economically viable because I'm paying to still live in the dorm, like, no matter what. It's like I can live here and not have to, and it won't cost this extra money.
Yeah, so if you did a summer term, you'd have to pay for that housing.
Yeah.
And with the winter term, you're still in the dorm. So he gets to live in his dorm instead of letting it sit vacant for a freaking month. Or more, actually. It's like a little over a month is the winter break, and Julian's getting 4 credits in a J term. Anyway, so Julian, this might be a little bit of the mystery solve on the termite issue. And again, nothing. I went over the whole house. There's not a speck. There's not a wing. A lot of times around the windows or on the floors, you look for those little iridescent wings, which could be, a sign of termites swarming the drywoods. And nothing. No pellets, nothing anywhere else in the house that I can see, just in my closet. And Julian, obviously listening, and you just sent me a text that you and Dave, good buddy of ours, you guys replaced some wood in my closet. How long ago?
Maybe 2 years or 3 years ago.
Oh, that's right. We had we replaced some of the wood in was it the interior boxes?
Yes. Yeah,
oh my God! And you know
So
what?
they've been there for 2 years?
Hold on a minute. Julian just sent me a little drawing of my closet, and it's almost exactly in the same spot, Julian.
Yeah.
Oh my! You know what? I bet you the wood that was brought into the closet to replace one of the boxes up on top, one of the cabinet boxes. How many did you guys do? 1 or 2 or more?
I think just at least, I know we did 1, maybe 2.
All right, that's it. It's too close, and that was a couple of years ago, and that's how long it can take for termites to start kicking out their. That's the I get.
Julian, what'd you do?
No, it's just whatever the wood was. It was probably contaminated with termites back then.
I would make Julian pay for it.
It was put. No, it's not Julian's fault.
He bought the wrong wood.
No, Julian didn't buy the wood. Julian was helping our buddy Dave, and it's not our buddy Dave's fault either.
Make Dave pay for it.
Oh, son of a! All right, well that makes sense now. That would be too coincidental that you guys replaced some wood cabinet boxes up in the top, and it's within feet of where the termites are kicking out. So that makes sense, Julian. I think that would be just way too coincidental.
Yep.
That the termites were introduced with this new wood about 2 years ago. Son of a...
Sounds about right.
Man. All right. Thank you, Julian.
Yeah, anytime. All right.
Hold on. Are you yawning?
Dude, I'm tired.
Dude.
All right.
I've been doing my DVDs late, and then I've been sleeping, and then I get up and it's crunch time. I got to do work. Except I do have off today. So
Yeah, today's off, yeah. All right, buddy. Well, listen, I'm proud of you that you're up there doing a J term for 4 credits during the break.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Sounds tough, man.
Well, look at that little piece of intel. So almost the exact area they replaced some of the boxes in the cab with. So 2 years ago. Come on. What are the odds of that not being it, that the termites were introduced with the new wood put in 2 years ago?
Bastard wood's right.
All right, moving along.
Suddenly the old boxes don't seem so bad.
Just don't worry about it. Let's compartmentalize. But it will be a lot. It'll be expensive.
Man, son of a. All right.
And a pain.
Dave just texted me.
Where are you going to stay?
Just got in the truck. Hold on, let me call Dave.
It's not my wood, bro.
Dave's our longtime friend, master carpenter. Dave did a lot of the woodwork in my house. I mean, we've known Dave for like 20 years now. Hang on, let me call up Dave. I got to get his number.
Spending a lot of time on this. On your
Dude, I got termites in my closet.
I know, but don't we have like morons or something?
I got all kinds of stuff I got to deal with, but this is real termite, real world news here.
It's got real moron termites.
Hello.
Hey.
Dave, it's me live.
Good job, Dave.
All right, so what are the chances are that the wood you guys replaced in my closet was termite infested?
I don't think we replaced any wood. We took out the boxes. And remember, we fixed the drywall behind.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Because I wanted to. We some of the hot air was coming in, so we took some boxes out and we just sealed it. So you didn't put new wood in?
No.
Gotcha. We just wanted to caulk and seal because some hot air was coming in from the attic.
Behind.
All right. So no new wood.
No.
All right. So you're not to blame.
Thank God.
All right,
Dave.
Okay.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Fester. Could it be a problem with MJ's caulk?
Yeah, he always buys the cheap caulk.
I don't get out of here.
I mean,
Get out of here.
I've heard that MJ's had issues with his caulk in the past.
Okay, yeah, I get your joke.
What?
All right. Yeah.
No hable.
All right.
talking about wieners?
All right, Dave. I'll talk to you later.
Froggy.
All right. Talk to you.
Thanks, man.
I don't get it.
Talking to a master carpenter about MJ's caulk.
All right, moving along. I got to say hello to Joseph, my Uber driver yesterday.
Oh, God.
Let's just do a segment where you say hi to your Uber
I
drivers.
know. What are you doing?
Well, hang on a minute, because he didn't realize that I was MJ.
So what'd you do? Tell him?
Well, because whenever I'm in an Uber and they're not listening to Q105, I say, hey, you ever listen to Q105? And then I introduce them to the morning show.
Why would you do that?
Why not? It's our job to get as many freaking listeners as possible.
Awkward.
I'm not embarrassed.
It's
awkward. Oh, it's awkward. We're on the air for
You just want him to go, "You're MJ? Oh, my God."
No, we're on the air for 4 hours every day. If I can get an Uber driver who's driving all over town with hundreds of people a week, and if I can get them to play our station...
Yeah, Froggy.
Hello? That's what we do.
Like, I've never gone up to somebody and go, hey, do you listen to the MJ Morning
Well, you
Show?
know what? You're not dedicated. You're not in you're not in the game then.
No, he's not.
I have no problem. I've got no shame.
A gas station attendant, who else?
I've got no issue going up to anybody and introducing myself and saying, hey, I would appreciate it if you listen to the MJ Morning Show on Q105.
Fester, do you do that?
I have no issue doing that. I do that whenever I possibly can because our job is to get as many listeners as possible, Froggy.
Like I'm going to benefit from that.
I had a guy at the corner of Ashley Street and 275 getting off the exit ramp with a radio begging for money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, you tuned to Q105?
Yeah.
And he's like,
I'm Fester.
He's like, sure am. I go, here's 50 cents.
So the Uber driver yesterday was Joseph, part-time Uber driver. He's got a full-time gig, just, does some Uber every once in a while to make some extra money. And Joseph picks me up yesterday to take me up to Veterans Ford because I picked up yesterday afternoon, I picked up the Bronco Raptor to drive for a week or so to give that a little whirl. Of course, Veterans Ford, big sponsor here on the MJ Morning Show. So he took me up. And as we were getting to Veterans Ford, he had a different station on. And I said, you ever listen to Q105? He said, yeah, all the time. And I said, you ever listen to the MJ Morning Show? He said, yeah, all the time. And then I said, well, I'm MJ. He said, and he used the F-bomb. He said, get the bleep out. And he's like, oh, my God, I listen to you all the time. So Joseph was already a listener. And Joseph was really, really nice. Gave him a nice tip. Gave him 5 stars. I think he gave me 1. No, I'm kidding. But hello to Joseph, my Uber guy, yesterday. So thanks for listening to the show. I highly appreciate it. Do we have any confirmation, Andrew? Oh, and Andrew, did you put a little turd drop in the middle of the commercial set by any chance?
I may have.
A little turd drop.
What? Did you hear what Andrew did?
What happened?
So, because you guys flee you scurry
Scatter like cockroaches.
I gotta pee.
The minute we go to commercial break, you guys scatter like cockroaches.
It's called efficient behavior.
I don't leave this room for 4 hours, and you guys are gone every break. In the middle of the commercial set, Andrew, do you have the audio bite ready to go?
Yes.
All right. In the middle of the commercial break, I'm standing here. I'm just going over paperwork for the upcoming segment. And in between commercials, I hear this. I'm a turd catcher.
Whoa. What commercial did it play during?
It was the middle of 2 commercials. And Andrew put that in the log. I'm a turd catcher.
Was it the guy doing like timeshare mediation?
That's what it should be.
I'm
the timeshare guy.
I'm a turd catcher.
No, it was in between commercials.
Oh.
And of course, that little sound bite, play it again. I'm a turd catcher. That's me in the closet, catching the little termite pellets coming out of the kick hole over the weekend. I said I'm a termite turd catcher. So he isolated. Now he's playing this in between commercials.
Nice.
I'm a turd catcher.
Nice, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew.
It's really immature,
Appreciate
Andrew,
it.
is what it is.
Thank you.
I got to do the 9-10 must-hear story. It's actually not. Andrew says that's his new ringtone. Ringtone for me. So whenever I call, it's going to be I'm a turd catcher. Great. The 9-10 must-hear story here on the MJ Morning Show. We all know the term Karen. You're a Karen. It's unfortunate because there are a lot of nice Karens out there. You know how many Karens are not Karens?
Dude, you're a male Karen.
Listen, you think what you want. Oh, did you see my latest Walmart video?
Oh, God.
Did you see that?
No.
I got to talk about that.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. I get to listen. There's just too much content, not enough showtime. 4 hours is not enough. So the 9-10 must-hear story is as follows. Unfortunately, the name Karen has been besmirched by the name being utilized as a complaining middle-aged individual, a female.
What's wrong with being middle-aged?
Nothing. I never said anything. I'm just saying that
it's just the description.
that's the Karen.
Why aren't there young Karens and old Karens?
No, I mean,
middle-aged?
somebody 22 is not a Karen. Karen's like 35 to 55.
So
60,
it is a specific range.
Yeah, that's why I said the demographic. There's a certain range, essentially, where the Karens sit. And it's unfortunate because, like I said, I truly believe that the bulk of the Karens out there are not really Karens, but unfortunately their name has been tainted. And there is a male equivalent of a Karen, and we've floated different ones, and different names have been, spewed about. But there's a specific name, a code name, on an airplane
For a male Karen.
Well, it's for a problem passenger. So you never want to be this individual, but this name can actually be a female problem or a male problem, apparently. So flight attendants are kind of doling out some of the secrets. And this is a name, if you're traveling on a commercial airliner, if you're on a U.S. or an international airline, if they use the code as well, you don't want to be labeled this by the flight attendants. And they're not calling you this to your face, but they're using this name amongst themselves. So flight attendant A might say, oh, yeah, we got a real blank in 26A.
Delta Bravo.
Anyone get that? 26A?
26A.
26A. Come on, guys. What are you, slow? That's the seat where the door panel blew out on the Alaska Airlines flight, 26A.
We did that story, and I didn't write it in my diary. Dear diary, 26A is the seat where I didn't remember that fact because it does me no use to survive in this world with that 26A. That's you, the plane guy. You absorb that.
Roxanne, what if you're on Jeopardy? And the subject is midair plane disasters?
Correct.
And the seat question is?
I will bomb.
28A?
What if it's the category is delicious aviation delectables? All right.
How about the fact that he called us slow? I'm offended by that.
Listen, 26A is the seat where the door panel blew out. That might be good information to have if you're going to be traveling on a Boeing 737 MAX 9, that maybe, even though they might have the issue solved, maybe you don't want to sit in 26A.
All things being
if there's a door plug there. So the code name is as follows. A Phillip. You do not want to be on an airplane. What? You don't want to be called a Phillip.
You know, middle name.
Well, it is?
And a big name in my family. Many Phillips in my family.
That's what I thought. You know what? I thought that is your dad Phillip?
My dad is a Phil, yes.
Yeah.
And I already
And he's the coolest dude I know.
I already think that there are too many like Phil jokes, like Phil McCracken, and that's the Phils are getting a bad rap. They already have the jokes about them. They don't need to be called
Phil McCracken. Dude. Is there a Phil McCracken in the house?
I'm a Michael Phillip.
Somebody Phil McCracken. All right. So
I'm going to change my radio name to Michael Phillip.
One day it was super cold out, right? Yep. And I went to Walmart back when they were open 24 hours before the morning show, and Fox 13 was out there talking to people out in the cold weather. And I told the guy my name was Phil McCracken, and they ran a clip of me all morning long.
They put Fester on the news on Fox 13 with the Chiron, the lower third graphic.
I had to say my name.
His name was
spell it.
Phil McCracken.
Can I get your name? Can you spell it? Yeah, MC Big C Kraken. That was on the news all morning.
You don't want to be called a Phillip. So the code word, a flight attendant dubbing a problem passenger a Phillip, it's you're on the naughty list. You're on the watch list. You're a pain in the ass. You've caused issues. It's not like you're going to get tackled by an air marshal or arrested when the plane lands at Love Field or something. But you're dubbed a pain in the butt. And you know where the name, how that originated? Why the flight attendants call problem passengers Phillips?
I would guess from South Park.
No.
What?
Oh, from those two
Terrence and Phil?
the two Canadian TV hosts? No.
Tooting on each other
because they got to fill up the seat.
No, this is great.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You're going to love this. No.
What?
The name Phillip as a problem passenger, it originated from the term PILP, P-I-L-P, which is an acronym for...
Person.
Well, close. Passenger I'd like to punch.
Oh, jeez.
So a PILP, a P-I-L-P, passenger I'd like to punch, is a PILP. And that, over time, has morphed into a Phillip. So if you ever hear a flight attendant talk about a Phillip on an airplane, or if you are a flight attendant, hey, maybe you want to call in and confirm this, that if you ever hear the term Phillip regarding a passenger, it's a passenger that is just a pain in the butt, and the flight attendant wants to punch him in the face. And that's a PILP. Passenger I'd like to punch, or a Phillip. So you don't want to be dubbed a Phillip on an airplane.
As
Simple
a
as
Phillip, I am offended.
I thought you would. I don't know what it is with these damn Stanley Cups, but how do we go for like months and months and months and months, and we have no mention of Stanley Cups, and then the last like week and a half, it's like Stanley Cup after Stanley Cup after. I'm talking about the Stanley tumblers. The Stanley insulated drink mugs, cups.
All right, they've been a thing for like 2 years.
I know that, but
lately
there's been fights and mobs trying to grab the cups off a shelf at Target. People diving over people. You have the car that burned to the ground and the cup was still in the center console with the liquid ice still in it, even though the vehicle was fully engulfed.
How about the memes, though?
Well,
yeah.
Did you guys see the? Did you guys see the one with the hockey player holding up the big stand? The hockey player holding
Stanley Cup, yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, okay, right.
It's just so good. I hate it.
So it's the perfect storm because of Target having these now that limited edition Starbucks Valentine's Day cups.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's making everybody realize this is really ridiculous.
Well, I'll tell you what's ridiculous is paying $49 for a freaking cup. That's what's ridiculous, but that's a whole different story. The reason why I'm bringing Stanley Cups up again is a mother is telling the story how her daughter was bullied at school because the kids at school were making fun of her having a knockoff, a fake Stanley Cup from Walmart and not the actual Stanley brand. It was just, one of those.
A Hanley?
Well, it was It was just a ripoff, or just a copycat cup that wasn't officially a Stanley Cup. And this mother is claiming that her 9-year-old daughter is getting bullied at school because other kids were making fun of her for not having a real Stanley tumbler cup.
Let's start a charity.
Oh, God.
For kids to have
GoFundMe?
Stanley Cups.
GoFundMe?
Yes.
My friend always had knockoff shoes, and I used to make fun of him.
I need some sad music. Andrew, what is it, the Sarah McLachlan song we use for the sad music?
Oh, the eyes of an angel.
Yeah, can I please get cue up Sarah McLachlan, please?
I think it's Angel, isn't it?
Yeah, I need that music.
I might cry.
Yeah. So, Andrew, just start playing it when you have it, because I think ladies and gentlemen, it is sad when a family can't afford a expensive Stanley Cup for their kid, and they go to school with a phony knockoff, and other kids make fun of them. This is wrong, and we are here to right the wrong. Starting a GoFundMe for kids that don't have real Stanley Cups.
I need some distraction.
It's just unfair.
Yeah.
It's not the kid's fault that the parents don't want to buy or maybe can't afford a $49 Stanley tumbler cup. It's not the kid's fault. Kid's a victim.
It's so hard for these kids.
That's why we're starting a GoFundMe account so all kids can have this cup.
Please donate today.
How long has Stanley Steamer been around? Did they come first? They should sue.
The Stanley Steamer is an old vehicle that used a steam engine. That's where Stanley Steamer came from.
I thought it was a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's an old vehicle with a steam engine. It's called a Stanley Steamer.
No, it is a vacuum.
Guess what?
No.
You're lying.
Guess what? Jay Leno has a Stanley Steamer in his car collection.
There was a car named the Stanley Steamer, Froggy, and now it's a carpet cleaning company.
Yes, exactly.
It blew up in my face.
But here on the MJ Morning Show, we endorse Zero Res because they use zero residue. All right, but speaking of Jay Leno, did you see Jay Leno paid a visit to the Nona Slice House up in Safety Harbor?
Yeah, really?
Fantastic.
It's a pretty good pizza here.
Hey, what do you think of the pizza?
It's a little burned like my face when I got lit on fire
Will you
underneath
stop
the
it?
car.
Will you stop it?
Just crispy around the edges.
Wait,
Yeah, I don't want to go to see the oven. I believe you.
that's what it's. No, so seriously, two big celebrities at the Nona Slice House up in Safety Harbor on Main Street this weekend.
Jay Leno and who are the other two?
Me.
Branford Marsalis?
No, I was there.
Oh, I thought you said major and celebrity.
So Michelle and I had lunch at the Nona Slice House on Friday afternoon.
Now, Jay wasn't there while you were there.
We went up, had Michelle likes the old world Neapolitan, and we had a pizza on Friday, so we were there for lunch. And then apparently on Saturday, Jay Leno, I didn't even know this. Did you know Jay Leno was doing a show at Ruth Eckerd Hall?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Clearly that wasn't advertised very well.
No.
Oh, it's on the road.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, that wasn't advertised very well. I didn't even know about it.
The thing about Ruth Eckerd Hall is it sells out so quickly because it's a smaller
Yeah.
venue. You're either in the know or you're not.
Yeah, well, I wasn't in the know. I had no idea that Jay Leno was going to be at Ruth Eckerd Hall.
Yeah, I'd like to sit in the MJ seat.
Yeah, and so Jay Leno apparently before the show stopped in on Saturday to grab some pizza at Nona Slice House, and I was just there the day before. I mean, it's a celebrity magnet. And Sardo, hey, still love you, buddy.
What a chooch you are, man.
Listen, Sardo's pizza's fantastic as well.
Yeah, bring some.
On Ulmerton, yeah. Hey, Sardo, it's the new year. Time to bring us some pizza. Somebody, Sardo, if you're listening, it's time for some Sardo's pizza as well. Bring it on down. All right, 9:24 at the MJ Morning Show. Last segment is next here on a Monday. Final segment, MJ Morning Show in minutes, folks. Don't move. This is Q105. All right, speaking of our... Everyone's a go. That Coach Todd said that everything is ready to roll. So, again, have we seen definitive reporting that Baker Mayfield, because he was nursing a couple of injuries.
Yeah, he banged up his ankle.
Right.
He banged up some ribs.
All right, do we know? All right, now the Bucs and the Eagles tonight kickoff is about 8:15 at Ray J tonight. And as late as last night, there were reports that it wasn't 100% sure that Baker Mayfield was going to play. But then, again, I saw a straggler report early this morning that Coach Bowles said that, everyone is playing. That everyone, 100%. So have you found anything on, any of these sports websites, any of the Bucs Nation? What's the story here?
Everything kind of says it's questionable, but you know what? He's going to remain questionable till game time. He's going to come out. He's going to play. He's going to fall out.
Then there was another report that we'd know 90 minutes prior to the game. So why was it? It might have been Channel 8. Why did Channel 8 this morning say that it's been confirmed that everyone is playing, that Baker Mayfield is in? I mean, but we can't find that, right?
It's a game that the teams play where they don't release their lineups. I think they have to report it by 90 minutes before kickoff anyway.
Yeah.
So you know who's playing. So they're going to say he's questionable. There's no way in hell Baker's missing this game.
I would have to agree. It seems that Baker Mayfield will be playing tonight. I couldn't even who's his backup? I don't even know.
His backup is Herb. And he sold hot dogs for the first half of the season.
Right.
And then they called him down. He's
Right.
number...
Herb Albert?
They saw him throwing hot dog from the top row down to the bottom row. Like, oh, look at that arm.
So Herb Lipschitz. And I was like, and Todd Bowles like, who is that throwing that hot dog? And I was like, that's Herb Lipschitz.
Look at that arm. Get Herb in here.
Sign him.
All right, so Baker Mayfield, I guess, most likely is going to play tonight. Eagles in town. The one thing, typically in a normal year, in this kind of situation, you would say, my God, hope it's not brutal. The Bucs don't have a chance. But, the Eagles have been so bad. The Eagles have just totally bungled, the last 5 or 6 games? I mean, the Eagles season just freaking collapsed.
They're not coming in as the team to beat by any means.
So the Eagles were a powerhouse, and they were rocking early on. The Bucs were supposed to lose their arses this year. Remember, the Bucs were only supposed to win 1 or 2 games the entire season.
Yeah, where are all those people now?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the Bucs didn't have a great season. They kind of laid an egg in a couple of games.
Yep.
And they won the division by beating the worst team in the league with only field goals.
Yep.
But Sports Illustrated said 2 games.
And then one source, was one of the betting sites, had them only winning 1 game the entire season. So here the Bucs are in a wild card playoff, and here we have it. And if you would have said Eagles from October, whole different story from Eagles from last month, December, or now January. So there's a chance that the Bucs could actually win tonight.
So
any given Monday.
Yep.
Any given Monday night after the Monday afternoon.
Any given Monday?
Froggy, being a huge Tampa Bay sports fan.
Oh, yeah.
I love sports.
The Buccaneers have been now in the playoffs for 4 consecutive years.
Yeah, I know.
And all 3 major Tampa Bay teams have been in the playoffs for the last 4 years.
Dude, hell, Bandits rule, man.
Yeah, right? The Bandits, the Rowdies, and the Tampa Bay Windjammers, the
Right.
semi-pro
The Devil
basketball
Race.
league.
Oh, yeah.
Kicking ass, baby.
So-
Kicking ass.
Go Bucks! Hopefully, we send the Phillies the Eagles packing. Send the Philadelphia Eagles packing tonight. And listen, go Bucks! Hopefully, it's a good game again. Any given Monday, and and the Bucks. I got to be honest. I think they have a shot because
If you say so, MJ, I'm taking that to the bank.
I'm just thinking. I think the Bucks might have a shot tonight. So go Bucks, and let's see if we can turn kind of a so-so season into. I don't think they're going to be Super Bowl bound, but listen, let's get as far as we can, right?
The Buccaneers or the Philadelphia Eagles after tonight's game will then head to Detroit to play the Lions.
And the Packers are in too, so it's almost like reminiscent. If the Bucks win tonight, it's very reminiscent of the black and blue division, the Central Division back in the day.
Man, I love football, man.
Speaking of you mentioned
the
Detroit game. That was a pretty good game. L.A. Rams and the Detroit Lions. That was a pretty good game last night.
I couldn't stay open. 5 minutes left. I just fell asleep.
No,
I was zonked out.
Yeah, we watched it. And then do we know Buffalo, I thought, was still questionable. There were some reports that the game might even be postponed, but the Buffalo game, the Bills game, rescheduled because of the horrific weather over the weekend up in Buffalo. And we mentioned this earlier today, that if you would like to grab a part-time job quickly, head up to Buffalo because they're paying $20 an hour right now for you to shovel snow out of that stadium.
It's crazy.
So while the weather is going to suck today in Buffalo, it will suck less than it did Saturday night into Sunday, and then most of the day Sunday. So the game will be played today at 4:30.
It's a interesting time. 4:30 on a holiday Monday. Bills and Steelers. So we'll see if the game actually goes off.
What time does that game start?
4:30 in the afternoon.
I don't care. I was joking.
Froggy, do you have a prognostication?
Yeah, man.
About either of the games?
The Bucks are probably going to lose.
Go Bucks.
I was looking at the stats.
Whoa!
Just
warning, Froggy, warning.
Go Bucks.
French Bulldog missing from Florida was found thousands of miles away in Ohio.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm just bringing this up because Froggy's newest dog is a 1-year-old French Bulldog. And those French Bulldogs, man, they're targets. Whether it's a pet store where people walk in and try and steal the French Bulldog right out of the store, or Lady Gaga's dog walker getting shot.
Come on, man. Can we talk about French Bulldogs and not bring up the one that got shot?
Oh, God. Do you remember Ted, our old program director? I like Ted.
Well,
Ted was a nice guy. I had no problem with Ted.
I agreed with him on this.
Man, Ted, when we played the audio bite of Lady Gaga's dog walker getting shot,
he got so mad.
Oh, my God. It was like he turned from the nicest guy into like an ogre. It was riveting audio. It was so topical. I mean, how often do you get a dog walker like dog jacked and the audio is captured, and we played it and like Ted freaked out.
Just an audio of a man possibly dying. What's the big deal?
Dude, the guy survived, but I mean, how often
if he died, you wouldn't have played it, probably.
You got Lady Gaga's dog walker was attacked by marauding thugs in a Camry driving around West Hollywood, and they ripped off they tried to kidnap or dognap the dogs. And then you got audio of the whole thing. Man, I tell you what, do you remember how ticked he got?
I mean, then we played Walking on Sunshine right afterwards.
Well, but remember, we played it, and he said, yeah, never play that again. So, of course, if a program director tells me to never play something again, I'm going to play it again. And I went on to play it again, and then he kind of freaked out again, and anyway.
You didn't just play it again like the next day. You played it again like a couple weeks later, and then, yeah.
They need to do a study on the mind of the program director.
Listen, because when you're doing a story like that, and you've got the audio, how do you not play that audio to support the talk of the story? I mean, it's just intense. Froggy, so careful. A French Bulldog was found in Ohio. escaped from the backyard here in Florida last month.
Jeez.
Philip Adams said his 1-year-old French bulldog puppy, Biggie, one of that's named after Biggie Smalls.
Probably.
Paying tribute, Biggie, maybe, paying tribute to Biggie Smalls. Biggie went missing from his backyard, and this happened in South Florida. He said that it wrecked the family. They couldn't sleep. They couldn't eat. The kids were upset. The kids weren't eating. Kids were like on a virtual hunger strike. And according to an Ohio television station, the family put up flyers all over the place, and the dog was found. They created a GoFundMe page to raise money to find their dog, and they found Biggie. So last week, a guy gets a hold of Adams and the family from the GoFundMe page and said that Biggie was in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Wow. That's like an adventure movie. It's like Benji.
My God, the dog's in Cincinnati. I'm eating rawhide bones in Cincinnati. So, what the heck? So, Adams said, it was just kind of weird. I get a call from a guy in Cincinnati saying your French bulldog is here. Took his phone number and email address, typed it into Google, found out where he lived and who he was, called the local police department, and asked them to get my dog.
Oh, my God. The theme song works out so well.
Well, Hamilton County up in Cincy in Ohio, they then went to the house. They took Biggie from the home and then took it to the Cincinnati Animal Care Shelter. The Cincinnati Animal Care Shelter told WFLA here in Tampa that the shelter's housing Biggie until the owner can come get him. Mm. Wow. So the pup was in great condition, wasn't microchipped, says this is a great story on why you need to microchip. Hey, is Miss Elizabeth, your puppy, microchipped?
She is chipped, yes.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
It's like a little grain of rice back by the shoulder blades where they put those things.
Both of my dogs.
So the family was probably wondering what happened.
Yeah.
Just like the song.
Go ahead, Fester.
Baby, did you ever wonder whatever became of me? Huh? Your
Good
puppy's in Cincinnati.
Eating puppy chow in Cincinnati.
This is a turkey drop episode's funny.
As God is my witness.
I thought French bulldogs could fly. So they found the dog, and they've been reunited. What's that? Reunited.
And it feels so good.
So, Froggy, just heads up, man.
All right.
These French bulldogs, I think, have the greatest propensity to be, dog napped, stolen. So just be very careful with your beloved new year-old Miss Elizabeth, okay?
Yes, I definitely will. Thank you.
Please be very, very careful.
Very, very, very.
All right. So I think that's it. I think we're going to call it a day here. All right. Got to head to the gym and work out. It's Monday's X-Force Body Day for me and Michelle. So,
fun.
I'll tell you what, my weight, I am at the lowest weight. I'm at the lowest weight in quite some time.
You look worse than ever. I mean, you don't look healthy.
I mean,
What do you mean I don't look healthy?
You look like you're wasting away.
Get out of here. All right, Froggy,
kidding. Look great.
I need Hal Herman this week.
All right, I'll bring it Friday.
I don't want to do it on Friday all the time.
All right, Monday.
Tell Hal Herman. Well, today's Monday. Tell Hal Herman we need Hal Herman headlines on Wednesday, midweek.
Oh, he's going to be
all right.
pissed.
Also, does Hal Herman have a Stanley Cup? We need to get him a Stanley Cup so he can keep his vodka in there.
Yeah, for sure. He's been on quite a kick lately with the booze.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Hal Herman later in the week, probably on Wednesday. And with that, man, I got a lot we left on the table, but listenership will be back to normal. Actually, phones, rocked pretty well today when we took phone calls. Didn't really have an issue, taking calls. All right, 9:44 at the MJ Morning Show. Let me just see if I'll save that for tomorrow. I'll save that for tomorrow. Yeah, all this stuff can say. I've got a lot of stuff, so we got I got a solid show already for tomorrow from, great A-list material we didn't get to today. Folks, have a great day. Remember Observation Day for the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today, federal holiday, so a lot of stuff is closed, and kids are out of school in most places. So, and where's Hadley? Is Hadley still here?
She's in the office stealing tchotchkes.
Oh, okay. All right. Fester brought his daughter to hey, say goodbye. We're shutting things down. Well, say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye.
All right, there was Hadley, Fester's little kid. So, anything else, guys, before we get out of here today? We'll see you tomorrow for the Tuesday edition of the MJ Morning Show on Q105, folks. And let's be careful out there.